Feel the water flow. This is for the fire in your soul. We pray for better days to live our lives and make a change. Feel the water flow. This is for the fire in your soul. In your soul, your soul, your soul.
Soul cleansing. Soul
Everybody
cleansing.
got problems. Everybody got problems. No matter which your soul.
Soul cleansing. Soul
That's why we gotta
cleansing.
call them. That's why we gotta call them. My spirit's so asshole.
Soul cleansing. Soul.
Nearly lost my soul, nearly lost my faith. When I lost my brother, that's the day it went away. Mama cried, so did granny did too. So lost, so hurt, I ain't know what to do. So I yell, and I cuss up at God. Like why in the fuck, how could you do that? Bring that pain in my family, it's something we did. Tell me you mad at me, cause I can't deal. And it's hard to live without my brother, and it's hard to forgive, but still I pray.
Feel the water flow. This is for the fire in your soul. We pray for better days to live our lives and make a change. Feel the water flow. This is for the fire in your soul. In your soul, your soul, your soul. Feel the water flow. This is for the fire in your soul. We pray for better days to live our lives and make a change. Feel the water flow. This is for the fire in your soul. In your soul, your soul, your soul.
I ain't know what your life like, but I'm just trying to get my soul right. Been struggling my whole life, in the dark with no sunlight. Tired of making up excuses, going crazy about to lose it. In the midst of all the bullshit, let the music be a pulpit. You ever got high? I know, no, I'm not talking about drug high, nah. I'm talking about high, something that you love doing, you feel me? A natural high. Yeah, a natural high. And that's what music is. And the weed is just the extra, you feel
Hey,
me?
I do it for the fans. I'm addicted to they love. Got me fiending for this game. This shit is like a drug, man. I swear it gets me high. Man, I swear it gets me high. Hey, you know I be high. You know I be high. See, I'm out here living life. Gotta thank the man above for giving me this gift. He laced me like a drug, man. I swear it gets me high. Man, I swear it gets me high. Hey, you know I be high. You know I be high. On Miami Winehouse, I say no, no, no to that rehab. I won't go. See, fuck a intervention. This music my addiction. It's all that I need. Plus some weed and carry Hilton. So fill my prescription so I can get this spit in with that BB flow. Yeah, that boy was spilling. The truth is in the building. You better pay attention. Stay lucky like some horseshoe. God, my true religion. See, fuck our niggas feeling and what they might say. They so sensitive like women. That's why we can't relate. While I'm out here getting cake, grinding on my paper chase. Tom Brady with the hustle. Yes, I'm still making plays. East side of the A, where them boys parlay. Can't do it like I can. I ain't talking Pepsi. Do you get it, man? Get it, see, I'm just hoping you can feel this constipated music. See, all I spit is real shit. Fans. I'm addicted to they love. Got me fiending for this game. This shit is like a drug, man. I swear it gets me high. Man, I swear it gets me high. You know I be high. You know I be high. See, I'm out here living life. Gotta thank the man above for giving me this gift. He laced me like a drug, man. I swear it gets me high. Man, I swear it gets me high. Hey, you know I be high. You know I be high. But come on, well, let's ride and get high, and get high, and get high, and get high. Hey, let's ride and get high, and get high, and get high, and get high. Hey, let's ride and get high, and get high, and get high, and get high. Hey, let's ride and get high, and get high, and get high. Hey, I do it for the fans. I'm addicted to they love. Got me fiending for this game. This shit is like a drug, man. I swear it gets me high. Man, I swear it gets me high. You know I be high. You know I be high. See, I'm out here living life. Gotta thank the man above for giving me this gift. He laced me like a drug, man. I swear it gets me high. Man, I swear it gets me high. You know I be high. You know I be high. You know I be high. This is all I know. Music pumping through my vein like an ounce of coke. I am so dope. Hair run flow. Marijuana thoughts gassed up full of smoke. Now watch these haters choke. These rappers wish it's sweet. Watch how I break them down and roll them. I ain't talking weed. Then light their ass up like some Christmas tree. See, I spit up burn a nigga like a 3rd degree. And no, I'm not currency, but nigga currently I strong on the rap game. Call me Hercules. My thoughts, my feelings, microphone killings. Plus I stay clean like a fresh pot of chitlins. I'm the shithole, hey, who stay grinding, never going broke. Eating off my hustle on my hungry hippos. I get dough, bills bare, what they call me. Comfortable like the hustles, I'm on my bill Cosby. I'm addicted to they love. Got me fiending for this game. This shit is like a drug, man. I swear it gets me high. Man, I swear it gets me high. You know I be high. You know I be high. See, I'm out here living life. Gotta thank the man above for giving me this gift. He laced me like a drug, man. I swear it gets me high. Man, I swear it gets me high. Hey, you know I be high. You know I be high. You know I be high. Well, let's ride and get high, and get high, and get high, and get high. Hey, let's ride and get high, and get high, and get high, and get high. Hey, let's ride and get high. This the shit that we on, we on, we on, we on, we on, we on, we on. This the shit that we on, we on, we on, we on, we on, we on. This the shit that we on, we on, we on, we on, we on, we on, we on. This the shit that we on, we on, we on, we on, we on, we on. This the shit that we on. Shit that we do. Claim niggas an animal, come riding out like the zoo. Caged up, let us loose. Caged up, let us lose. Black lives on the matter, nigga, when you're lying dead on the news. Gotta bang that blue, gotta bang that blue. Cops kill your blood, niggas ain't talking about pyro. Better get a clue, better get a clue. Wake up, my people, this shit can happen to you. Treating us like fools, keep killing our youth. Spread lies in our schools, they ain't telling the truth. Fuck all of they rules, fuck all of they rules. Signing off is a new nigga with a attitude. Now this the shit that we on, we on, we on, we on, we on, we on, we on. This the shit that we on, we on, we on, we on, we on, we on. This the shit that we on, we on, we on, we on, we on. We on, this the shit that we on, we on, we on, we on, we on, we on, this shit that we
Ain't trying to just sit around and get about everything we going through. Ain't trying to live life and thank God like who the fuck is you? Ain't trying to feel years on earth. I done shed blood, shed tears on dirt. Fighting these fools trying to spare my worth. On a set trip trying to clear my turf. Who are you, what am I? I'm confused, we must wanna die. We killing ourselves is another crime. Cops killing our brothers, they killing our brothers, and I know why. They got us killing ourselves, that ain't no lie. Look, let me break it down for you. First slave master, next employer. No 40 acre, no mule, no noise. Them type of eyes where the God destroys you. Blood pressure makes diamonds, we shine and grind and we reach our goals. Searching for worth without selling soul.
This the shit that we on, we on, we on, we on, we on, we on, we on. This the shit that we on, we on, we on, we on, we on, we on. This shit that we on, we on, we on, we on, we on, we on, we on. This the shit that we on, we on, we on, we on, we on, we on. Yeah, this shit aside, this to the side. They take niggas' lives, kill niggas' pride. Situations get minimized. Criminal history emphasized. On the victim, they penalized. Officers don't get penalized. Big business is an enterprise. Social media, they hypnotize. That's what people don't realize. Jail and slavery, the same thing. Gotta look at what it symbolized. Still going through the same pain. About time that we improvise. Should we Nat Turner or Dr. King? Should we rise up or live the dream? Should we stay quiet, don't make a scene? Go Malcolm X by any means. Pick a size, no in between. Nigga, pick a size, no in between. We on, yeah. We on, we on, we on. This shit we on. We on, we on, we on. This shit we on. We on, we on, we on. This shit we on. We on, this shit we
Come on. Let me breathe, babe. Let me breathe, babe. I need some time. Let me breathe, babe. 'Cause I ain't been myself in a while. Just a second, let me breathe, baby. I need a moment for my soul to realign. 'Cause I've been feeling out of sync lately. Time to reconnect my spirit to my body. My love, you want it, you need it in your soul. So mine, on me, breathe. All these hours in a day, need you to let me have one. My heart and soul grasp for you deeply, my love. Here in the present, gone in the spirit, lost in the message you're talking. I ain't hearing my mind, my mind, my mind. Found in a simpler place, meditate, seek truth, and somehow I find myself. I've been moving up this mountain called life, so tough. With a bucket on my head full of all your stuff. I'm living and I'm breathing, I'm not built for it. Tough on the surface, but I know that I'm drowning. Just a second, let me breathe, baby. I need a moment for my soul to realign. 'Cause I've been feeling out of sync lately. Time to reconnect my spirit to my body. My love, you want it, you need it in your soul. So mine, on me, breathe. Time for myself, time well spent. Yoni off my shelf, myself well kept. Sit back, light a candle, relax, and I say to my conscience, take hatred and evil away. No emotion, just make sure I mean what I say. Give me peace and protection wherever I lay. Know when to lock in, know when to pray. Till the world is all moving your way. My vibe tell me keep my feet moving, 'cause life's so rough. And don't worry about the losses, trust God and love. Be free with your heart, safeguard your trust. We'll just pray, bless up, bless up, bless up. Just a second, let me breathe, babe. I need a moment for my soul to realign. 'Cause I've been feeling out of sync lately. Time to reconnect my spirit to my body. My love, you want it, you need it in your soul. So mine, breathe.
Yeah. Real deal for shit, but I don't know what I'm saying. Bitch, match, my designer mismatch. Duffel bag with big racks, you can't get your bitch back. Better call dispatch. I'm flexing with no six pack, she broke you like a Kit Kat. No cap, these big fat. I'm cooking like a scientist. We pull up in your hood and wet your shit up like a fireman. You know I am a boss with pussy, nigga, I ain't hiring. The trap house, it got hit a couple times, but they ain't find shit. Told her thought my dick was getting hard, but that's the fire. Yeah, no that's a fire, no that's a fire, don't even try. No I got goons, no I got killers, ready to die. No we got glocks, no we got sticks, ready to fly. Niggas be thinking they eating, they sitting on their ass and they not getting a piece of the pie. Niggas be sitting and plotting, but they know I'm watching the niggas, so don't even try. I've been that nigga since I was a gist, so them bitches, they know I'm that guy. Been shorty, she get on her knees, she give me that bread like she ready to fry. Yeah. As soon as I open the seal, you know that it's real, we smoking on Zai. Yeah. As soon as I get him in front of a judge, shit, you know I'm a lie. Told him it's time to get down to the business, fuck it, suit and a tie. I can't even rock one brand. I'm having bitch match, my designer mismatch. Duffel bag with big racks, you can't get your bitch back. Better call dispatch. I'm flexing with no six pack, she broke you like a Kit Kat. No cap, these big fat. I'm cooking like a scientist. We pull up in your hood and wet your shit up like a fireman. You know I am a boss with pussy, nigga, I ain't hiring. The trap house, it got hit a couple times, but they ain't find shit. Shawty thought my dick was getting hard, but that's the fire.
All of the family. Me man, my weed and my hoes too. I pull up old school, waist up in this bag, pussy make me have to show you. Clean as dirty money, like we tell me and we goes to delete your boy. Like what? Yeah, like we use Pro Tools. Okay, cool, say you rude. That boy he played and made the news. Say his partner tried to spin and got it too. Stupid fool. They say twerk it in the spot and ain't find shit. Okay, cool. They know the prices for my verse, it costs a brick. Bring the move, nigga dispatch. That's a 10-4. Get your bitch back. Bitch match. Chopper sit them down like a kickback. Mofo forever you did. Huh? So
bitch match, my designer mismatch. Duffel bag with big racks, you can't get your bitch back. Better call dispatch. I'm flexing with no six pack, she broke you like a Kit Kat. No cap, these big fat. I'm cooking like a scientist. We pull up in your hood and wet your shit up like a fireman. You know I am a boss with pussy, nigga, I ain't hiring. The trap house, it got hit a couple times, but they ain't find shit. Told her thought my dick was getting hard, but that's the fire.
I miss you nevermore.
I fuck around and make it pop off. Might fuck around and take the top off. Might fuck around and spin the block, dog. Say all I stay getting dropped, dog. I say I'm running to the guap, dog. And I will never ever stop, now. Hey, run up on me, you get popped, dog. Nobody shot straight at your top, dog. I see these pussy niggas lurking. I work that train just like a surgeon. I make a call, they know it's urgent. That money clean, that money dirty. Hey, get one of them, which one you working? Get one of them, which one you working? Hey, I can't let these niggas hurt me. Nah, that's word to the one who birthed me. Really be on some chill shit. I gotta kill switch. Try to cut my power off. Guess what, bitch? I'm still lit. Still getting head from your bitch behind the door. I am my brother's keeper. Still chop it up with Clark. From roaches in a bowl to a bankroll. We came a long way. When I talk, it's country grammar. Bitches dig my function. Ain't no time to play around unless it's with my kids. Turn the ball with my bro. Just touch down. I fuck around and make it pop off. Might fuck around and take the top off. Might fuck around and spin the block, dog. Say all I stay getting drunk, dog. I say I'm running to the guap, dog. And I will never ever stop, now. Hey, run up on me, you get popped, dog. Nobody shot straight at your top, dog. I see these pussy niggas lurking. I work that drink just like a surgeon. I make a call, they know it's urgent. That money clean, that money dirty. Hey, get one of them, which one you working? Get one of them, which one you working? Hey, I can't let these niggas hurt me. Nah, that's word to the one who worth me. That's word to the one.
All right, y'all. That's what it is. It's Tuesday night. It is Tuesday night, so y'all know what time it is. It is time for Classic Conversations with JT and Lo. I usually have a little rhyme that I do, but I haven't been able to remember over the last 3 weeks. I've been messing up, so that's Lo, I'm JT. This is a Classic Conversations. Classic Conversation. Listen, tonight, man, it's a great topic within our community. We're talking about that thing, light skin, dark skin. You know, a lot of times we have a lot of battles within our community. We talk about fat, skinny. We talk about tall, short. We talk about good hair, bad hair. But the one thing that really sticks to a lot of people sometimes, especially at a younger age, even now as you get older, it sticks is when, you know, people try and compare you. Say you a dark-skinned looking somebody. You look like a dark-skinned such and such. Or you're a little dark little, or you're old light-skinned, you're a little light-skinned ass boy. You know, that type of thing. Right. Yeah, you know,
I hate it.
And a lot of us laugh at it.
He said that before. You know that, right?
A lot of us laugh at it, you know what I'm saying? But it actually does, you know, it hits a little low. Telephone number 404-500-1605, urbanatlanta.com. Please go subscribe. Subscribe. Classic Conversations with JT and Lo. So, yeah, man, because right now, if y'all are looking at, the lives, y'all see this green screen behind us, I promise you it is not green. Actually, it is. But if you actually go to the actual website and go to our actual link to our actual podcast feed, you will see there's a pretty dope background back there. So, we're going to get going. We're going to let the guests introduce themselves real quick. We're going to, oh, boy. What's the name?
What's the word?
Infamous?
Unclean and
No.
unclean was one of them.
No, it was the, what's the word, man, that you was calling the infested. Yeah.
Infested.
Yeah, Mr. Infested. Mr. Infected himself.
Infected? Oh, shit.
Infected.
Whoa, infected.
Hold on, should you be in here with us?
For real?
We'll let you know what he mean by infected, so y'all don't start stepping away from the man.
Oh,
Go
we
ahead
got a
and,
meaning.
Speaking to the mic, man, let them know who you are.
Mike Lewis from the site. I'm not here in my official capacity.
Right. So you got to run down that whole.
You don't want to run it down?
Just a friend of the. They bring him on the show sometime.
All right. Well, in regards to the infected, there's a certain class of people. What should we say? That he called a level of people that he called the infected. We'll get into that a little later on. Next to him is Mr. Undefeated himself. Go ahead and introduce yourself, bro.
Oh, man, it's your boy, Daryl Dan, man. Mr. Funny for real. If I ain't funny, you can slap shit out of me. Yeah, man, I'm here for any and all topics, man, especially when it comes to, us, period. Okay. All right, young lady, you next. Go ahead and talk to us. Let us know.
Hey, I'm light-skinned QT herself.
All right.
I'm a friend of everybody. And we're here to talk about this light-skinned, dark-skinned thing.
Light skin, quick trip.
We'll go with cutie. We'll say light-skinned cutie.
And I tell you what, though, you really is married because your ring is huge.
I'm definitely really is married.
Yeah, he love her.
He definitely is.
He love her.
Really. Like, she won't be fake.
Hey, there are a lot of fake fakes out there. Don't get it twisted, so y'all don't call up here. Don't even
They
do
on
that.
Tender.
Don't even
She
do
said
that.
10 years. Oh,
ahead,
yeah,
young lady.
it's almost over with.
Who you are.
It's almost over
Now,
with.
hey, hold on, y'all. This young lady here got to run some stuff down as she introduced herself.
Right.
Let's go ahead. Because she was on the show. How many times she been on the show? 2 times? 1 time? How many times you been on the show? Yeah, well, she came, boy. And she right behind you, Mr. Undefeated, because she done put some people in their place, boy. I mean, yeah, she done some things to some people. So go ahead and introduce yourself, young lady.
I'm
February Hassan, I'm a relationship and personal development. Hi, okay, they told me
There we
to
go.
mic. I'm February Hassan, I'm a relationship and personal development coach. I'm the author of the book Would You Marry You and the signature workshop Allure, the art of feminine seduction. And I also wrote the conversation playing cards, sex shenanigans, and debauchery. And you know me from Facebook as an amazing blogger and a lot of good times. Thanks.
I told you. I told you.
Damn, that was good.
Yeah.
You ain't gonna top that.
Look, now,
Definitely
you-
not.
I should have let her go last.
You should have let it go last.
Yeah.
I feel like I gotta clear my throat before I say what I gotta say. Like, gotta sound distinguished like her. You already know what it is, man. It's your boy Cali Bo, man. Comedian, host, actor. Did a little bit of modeling, but and yeah, Team Dark Skin. That's what it is. Fuck that. Team Dark Skin. And yeah, that's what we talking about. I ain't got to keep going over because everybody said the same shit. We gonna get into it.
And
hello.
Mr.
Yeah,
Inappropriate himself.
yeah. Mr. Yeah, I said it himself. I tend to piss people off like Daryl does.
No,
So-
don't pull me over there. Just stay in your lane.
Hey, I'm doing all the
thing.
light skin things I can do right now while I have the opportunity.
That definitely was one
Okay.
of them.
I am going to go the full yard. But comedian, host here at Uptown Comedy Corner, Crabs and Comedy Variety Show, Inappropriate Nights. I open doors at the QT every Thursday at 6 p.m. 6 p.m. to 6:15.
Rush
Just
hour.
that 15 hour. You know what I'm saying? But actor, producer, writer, you know. But I am so happy to be here. This is my second time on the show. And this time, I believe I'm going to be able to talk and actually say some stuff. Because the last time we had, you know, the Munch Bunch over there, and they wouldn't let me say nothing. So, you know, I'm going to get it in tonight. So I'm not going to let you scare me at all.
Bro, you scared them last time?
No. I had another group of ladies that just, they was punching motherfuckers in the face.
Were they light skinned?
JT, are we throwing flags on the plate? Cause like he's smoking cigarettes in here. We don't really smoke. Like it's levels to this tobacco thing. Like the cigar's at the top, then I got the cigar, the black and mild. But we don't do cigarettes.
So what you trying to say, Dad?
Yeah, I'm saying like I feel like you should hang out the window and smoke that cigarette. Like
Well, he is close to the window though.
he is. You're right.
Yeah.
You're right. Touche.
So just in case y'all didn't recognize, we have some comedians at the table.
Yeah.
So, you know, we're going to hit on this thing. There's going to be a lot of laughter in it. But, again, it's some pretty serious topics here. You know, and I don't know if I should start talking about light-skinned people or dark-skinned people first because I don't want to, you know.
Talk about the lighter shade first. Go ahead.
The lighter shades.
Ease your way into it.
Easier way into it.
No, talk about the top, the blackest. Cause you feel me? Black was first. So let's talk about black.
You said you wasn't black. You said
I'm
you
black.
was-
I ain't black.
I tell you
black
what,
is a construct.
let's do it this way. I'm going to ask this question. As a kid, you know, with your skin color and everything, your skin tone, you know, was there, as you look back on it, was there any jokes or any names that you were called that then you kind of laughed at, but now that you look back on it, it makes you think like, damn, they was really.
I was called biscuit, like burnt biscuit.
I was about to say, I never seen a.
No,
black
for real.
man.
Like I was the black. I was too black in like elementary and middle school and everything. It was funny because when I got to high school, I think that's where, you know what I'm saying, like the tables turned. Dark skinned niggas, we started to come out. So, you know, I started to look a little good to some of these folks.
That was Michael Jordan. That was all Michael Jordan.
Nah, I think I came around to Tyson Beckford at the time. You know what I'm saying? When Tyson Beckford
How
came
old
in
are
there.
you? How old are you?
I just turned 40, like in
Oh,
February.
okay, yeah. You come
You know what I'm
from
saying? So I was in high school
You ain't
around
Tyson
95.
Beckford. Yeah, that sounds like you come from the Wesley Snipes, right? When Wesley Snipes.
Right. Well, hold on. Wesley didn't hold it down for us. You know what I'm saying? Because he played in Woo. All right, he played in Woo. That sent us back a little bit. All right,
It
that
did
sent us
set y'all
back a
back.
little
It
bit.
did. You're right.
That sent us
Touche.
back a little bit, but then Tyson came out, and then what's his name? The boy Morris Chestnut. You know the infamous getting shot scene. You know what I'm saying? That
yeah.
put us on the map.
Yeah,
High
Boys in the
learning.
Hood.
Think about it. We had some dark people. We had some dark skinned people get some
So
some
you just
major
don't
roles.
forget about Roots.
Man, everybody they saw Roots in the 70s.
Well, I'm older than you, so that's where I saw dark
Okay.
skinned people.
Okay. So since you brought up Roots,
I feel like he said dark-skinned people like he wanted to say nigga. You feel me?
You
Like,
niggas.
that didn't feel good. You feel me? The way it rolled, it didn't feel good.
And that's two things. That's two things. With the word nigga, do you think that a lot of people use the word nigga more when they're speaking to darker complexion people than they do light-skinned people?
Yeah.
No.
I will say that. The reason I say that is because I'm Jamaican and Italian. I come up in like the late 60s and the 70s. So in Harlem, the Italians were running numbers. You know, they were supplying the bigger drug dealers and the gaming machines. So they really didn't live in Harlem, but they were, you know, around there. And obviously, you know, they hooked up with, you know, chicks, dark-skinned chicks, or whatever the case is. So I'm a product of that.
Nah, your mama Puerto Rican. Yeah, she's Puerto Rican.
You said yes.
Yeah.
You said
No.
Why no?
Because I call anybody nigga. I don't care what color you are. I said. But I don't
Speaking
ever
of that
feel
shit,
like,
not gonna hear you.
Right.
I don't feel like, I haven't witnessed it. Let's say that. I haven't witnessed a dark-skinned person being called more than a light-skinned person. It's just for, when I
Where you
use
from?
I'm here in Atlanta, Georgia, 36 years.
Yeah. She remember when Wayne Williams was around here snatching motherfuckers.
Okay. So getting to you in regards to the Italians and everything up top in New York, do you think they accepted you more than they accepted darker skinned black people?
I want to say, so far as the fairer skinned women, yeah, they wouldn't mind.
Well, I mean,
Me
being that
personally,
you
man,
was
I was so where I grew up in Harlem was close to Spanish Harlem. So from 116th to 125th, 27th, 30th, Spanish Harlem, East West. Then you went into Harlem, which would be like the Renaissance area, like where all the jazz and poets were, and that was like 135th to 157th. But then 160 up to the Washington Heights area, it was Spanish.
Can I interject a question? What do you mean by fairer skin? I think just using that verbiage alone creates a whole different.
Caramel to me.
Okay, so why would you use fairer? So is it other unfair?
No, fairer skin, not fair like even odds
I
fair.
understand, but I'm saying words have power.
Right, you
So
right.
if you say things like fair skin as compared to.
But that's where I mean that's the era I come from. So the verbiage
Okay, but
comes from that.
we're in 2021. So at some point we have to start to change our verbiage.
I don't use that word. I just used it.
You used that word.
I mean, I used it based on the time. First off, hold up.
Hold
up.
Oh yeah, we have real topics. Yeah, we have real conversations in here.
Kind of clarity on something because MJ asked a question in terms of location. So you're from New York.
Right.
But where you from?
L.A.
Where you from?
I actually grew up in San Diego and Tucson, Arizona.
That's what's up.
Hot mama.
Army brat all over, but I claim Atlanta because I was up born overseas.
Daryl?
Oh, Atlanta.
No, because
Light skin.
yes, no question may be based on.
Demographics
on where you
and
from.
was.
Yeah, that's why when I asked him that, because you know Italians, you know, they have a love-hate relationship with black people.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
But you know, from what I've known, they accept light-skinned black people
Fair
more than they
tone.
do the dark-skinned black people. So that's why I asked you that in regards to dealing with Italians and everything. You know, did you see the differences of the way they treated you and say one of your partners or whatever?
Like I will. Now I will say this: growing up in L.A., when it came to that word right there, like between us, the Mexicans, and the Samoans, it was really like, you know how they use it as a term of endearment when you're talking to another brother.
Right.
But with the Mexicans and Samoans, we were together. You know what I'm saying? Like we were all bunched up in the same neighborhoods and everything else. So I'm not gonna say like we're not the same race, but it was almost like, yeah, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Oh yeah, that's my nigga, that's my partner. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, it was different races, but still, I mean.
But when do we change our verbiage?
I change.
Us.
When do we change our verbiage?
Us.
You mean you talking about like today?
Yes, this is 2021 today. We're all living.
I say my partner now.
Okay, so.
I mean, now sometimes I say my nigga.
Each other, but sometimes when we're talking to each other, when do we choose to change the verbiage from fair to something else? Because really, that was a verbiage that someone else created, not us.
Well, I've never used fair
So how
skin,
do you
so I
take
can't say that.
word? Out of curiosity.
I'm not easily offended.
Doesn't sound like it to me.
Jumped on it, so I'm just curious.
Yeah,
I
you did
on
jump
it
on
because
it.
I'm very good at debating.
So how do you take the word though?
That's it.
Not from an offensive standpoint, just in general.
Yo, they said
I
Lowe's
take the
mic
word
not working.
just as is, fair and unfair.
I got
So
it.
when you say someone is
How about it?
fair-skinned,
Okay.
you're saying that the word fair is more favorable as compared to someone who is dark or darker is less favorable. That's all I'm saying.
Okay.
So when do we start to change our verbiage to be more complimentary of us as a people?
Because I never looked at it that way until you mentioned it. That's why it's a question. I never thought of it.
Yeah, I get what you're saying is that some people would say that you're saying that if they're lighter, it's a more fair. Okay, I get what you're saying. With
I didn't think about it that way, but
Yeah.
like I said, the word came from my past. You know what I'm saying? So
I just always heard the word Ferris, but I've never thought of it in terms of.
You never actually put it into a concept.
Yeah, and see, and that's what I'm saying. There's a lot of times I think that we hear things in regards to our complexion within our race, and people laugh, and a lot of people just don't pay attention to it, but it's probably hurting somebody's feelings.
So then,
You know.
take. All right, so I'm gonna flip the coin over. So when African American man dates a white woman or a Caucasian woman, and then the little snow bunny, isn't that kind of the same thing?
I call them pink toes.
But I'm just saying.
No, it's not the same.
I call it a white lady.
Why? Why wouldn't it be the same thing? Because that's.
Because I feel where she coming from.
Are they bunnies?
Hold on, no. Because one is actually has a level of description.
Right.
You feel me? It's like if you
Which
can.
one? Which word?
Fair. Like when you say fair, there's a description to
You're
it because
dividing- you're dividing a race.
You can like when you say snow bunny, it's like okay, yeah, that can be considered derogatory because clearly she's not an animal.
Right.
We're not even gonna think about the bunny part of it.
Right.
You trying to call a person an animal. Now, when it comes to fair, it's like the term fair is used when everything is good. You feel me? So if you take that term and use it in the description of a person, it's almost like you're saying that skin is fair, but every other skin complexion deserves a specific description, as in black, white, red, yellow. Like I understand where she coming from with just the idea of the word and what it connotates.
That means it's in the mindset because when I hear fair, I don't think light or dark. I more so think.
No, you
someone
thinking
in between.
no. When you think fair, you think everything's even, nobody's complaining, it's on an even scale.
Right. So light
Right.
skin isn't even. We're more lighter.
No, I'm
Darker,
saying
darker.
that's
In
what I'm
other
saying.
words,
But
what you're saying
but
is when you think of the
it
word
would
fair,
it
you're
would
not
be
thinking of race.
considered.
Mindset of how
No,
you.
I'm saying.
fair.
I'm saying fair is.
Yeah, but you're using the
'cause at end
terminology of the
okay,
word.
We're not gonna. What we're not gonna do.
sentiment
Hold
is.
on. What we're not gonna do is act like this mindset doesn't come from white people. You feel me? Like it's white people. So what?
see, the thing
Listen. We all have some white in us. Whether or not we have a whole lot, as far as a whole parent, we all got some white.
You got a tip.
But
You got the head in. You got
all
tip.
of us. All of us. Listen,
You got
if you
tip
in
in.
America, and you wasn't born before 1492, nigga, you got some white in you.
You got
Kiss
tip
my
in.
ass with a turkey watching.
You got the head in.
So when I say when it come to white and like all the ideas and the mindsets that we have come from white people. So you heard a white person, whether you heard it or not, wherever you heard it from, wherever they heard it from, they heard a white person considering this light person a fair skin that causes no friction, there's no problems, everything's even keel. And if you're going to consider that fair, then a person who thinks like a debater, like she says she is, I understand why she jumped right on it, because now she's trying to see if you thinking, period. You feel me? And once she found out you're not thinking, that's why she just backed all the way off of it.
Wait, did you say I'm not thinking?
Listen. I'm not saying that you're not thinking. I'm just saying the way you defended it, let her know
Didn't
that you
defend
weren't.
it.
Listen,
I was
listen.
I was
No, you
making
tried.
my-
Listen, you tried to explain it by saying it comes from my past.
Okay,
feel
so
me?
explanation and
That's
defending isn't the same thing.
No, explanation and defense, whatever you call it. The way once you said that, she backed down because she like, okay, this nigga not swinging with pads under his gloves.
I don't think
he
she
just
said
got on
nigga.
regular
I don't
gloves.
even think she said this nigga.
No, I'm just telling you her. Listen, man, I'm a debater. You feel me? I like to debate. So your response made me say, okay, he not even in the same fucking building she in, nigga. So she was like, oh, okay, you're right.
And see, that's the thing with it, because she said it, but like she said, she's not offended. She don't think either way, but there's a lot of people out there that word may affect them in a certain way.
Oh, he could have offended her. Just keeping it a buck. He could have offended her. He could have. That's what she was waiting on. Because then she was going to destroy it.
First of all, hold on.
She left it open. It was almost like she was laying down and cut herself. Like, go ahead. You see that blood? Get it.
She took it as a term of you're dividing a race instead of just, like, you know what I'm saying? We talk about levels, but when you say fair skin and everything else, you're dividing the race with that word. You know what I'm saying? Just fair skin. I think is that what you was talking about?
That's close to the premise that I was saying. I think that again, us in 2021, if we want to bridge the divide amongst us, as I always often say, I don't care about anybody else.
Right.
Us as a people and people.
Fuck them other folks.
Right.
Listen, the only way. Oh, go ahead.
If we want to create a more harmonious union, we have to stop taking words that someone else impacted on us, and within us to say fairer skin. What does that mean? Exactly. What does it mean to have fairer skin? I think my skin's
like what makes it fair?
Right. It's extremely fair. So when we say that, what does that mean? What is that imparting on someone? So if I put two little girls together, one has a lighter complexion, one has a darker complexion, you say you're a fairer skin.
Right.
Immediately, what does that imply? Subconsciously or even consciously, immediately to a little girl. I can truly remember I've always had a head full of wild curly hair, right? I grew up I had so-called good hair, right? And my family actually did not believe in that verbiage. We were not allowed to say anybody had good hair. Hair was hair. So I had long, thick, wavy hair, and I can distinctly remember being stood next to, as a child, at 5 years old, next to a little girl who was of mixed race, and they kept comparing us back and forth. It was like, oh, she has pretty hair. She has pretty hair. And they compared us all the way up, all the way down. And they finally settled on she was prettier.
Because she was lighter.
Because she was lighter. Wow. Okay, so understand, we look almost identical in how we look. Both had long, gorgeous hair, pretty skin,
like
cute little girls.
Was your hair curly the way it is now, or was it like straight or something?
No,
it was straighter.
I had big, wild, curly hair.
Okay, so you and you say her hair was like.
She had curly hair.
Like yours,
Both
yours.
the same way.
Oh, both of y'all.
Which one of y'all look like Annie?
Okay, because I'm thinking she talking about somebody
You know
who may
why I'm
have had
tripping right
long
now?
flank hair. I was about to say,
no, you know why I'm
hair.
tripping right now? Because what you just said is
fur.
just
More like fur.
human. If you went to a village in Africa and you stood him next to me, they're going to judge us on if he's a better warrior, if he's a harder individual, if he's more of a gatherer, if he's more of a whatever.
Yeah.
And we're going to be the same complexion. We're going to be the same everything.
We're talking about colorism specifically.
But what I just said is what you just said about the comparison is human.
No, you can't use this European mindset in Africa. You feel me? The only
they didn't compare people in Africa.
Listen. The only reason that they would have a level of comparison for you is because they would only identify with the fact that there's white in you. They wouldn't give a fuck about how strong you was or none of that other stuff. They would look at you and be like, okay, he got some white in him. That's all that would matter to them. See, it's scientific when it comes to a people with a culture. We have no culture. That's why we're trying to find any culture to grab onto.
But don't you think what he said you don't think it had truth to it in terms of like darker skinned people are warriors and fighters? I mean,
but
every movie you look at where they had them jokers, who always the warrior? It was never a yellow joker.
If you look, but hold on. But the key word is, big bro.
I get what you're saying.
The key word is movies. You feel me? So off the bat, you're taking their idea of what they think. Like now, if you go over to Africa and you
isn't that
realize
the same ideas.
No,
that-
that's white
that
people's
people-
idea.
But okay, you can say that's white people's ideas, but those same ideas have come to where we live.
Exactly.
It's surfaced in this country, so we can't deny that those ideas have surfaced to
Now,
real.
it's not that they surfaced here. This is the origin of that idea.
We get that all of this stuff comes from that.
Right.
But the thing is right now we're using that against each other. And white, the white
It's
people
no
put
longer
it.
been
It was put into us to use
Right.
against each other.
Right.
But the thing, what the show is about, we're trying to figure out how we can stop doing it.
It's almost like trying to. It's like if you take a computer and put a specific hard drive into the computer, and you never take that hard drive out, because at the end of the day, this same hard drive that has been being used since we got here is still being used. It's nothing changed.
That's true.
Okay,
but
whose
the whole
option
point,
is that then?
What you mean?
Exactly. The whole point.
Right.
The whole point of a conversation like this is dialogue to say, because there's certain things that we don't even acknowledge. We don't even recognize.
Right.
For her, for example, she thought I was saying the fair skin. I've never thought of it in those terms.
Right.
I mean,
Yeah,
I've
right.
never thought.
Right,
I've
right,
heard that word
right.
all my life, but I've
Right.
never thought of it in
Exactly.
those terms.
Because you
but it
have a
immediately-
European
but it
mindset.
immediately triggered something. You know what I mean?
Right,
So-
because you have
but
you
beyond
have
the European mind, this is the mind of how we grew
We
up.
all, I know, and it's European. Like everything that you know, believe to be fact is some shit that was filtered through Europeans.
And that part we get.
Right.
that.
So I'm saying if you're not gonna look at that as the problem, like, okay, at the end of the day, at some point we need to realize, okay, let's take the hard drive out. But it's hard to take the hard drive out when this impression has been being put on us for 400 years with no let up.
You know what though? The problem with that part that I have with that part is, yes, you're right. It's been put there. It's what we've been doing. It's what we've been taught. But there's no reason why we can't change it.
Okay,
To keep
let-
saying that
It
was
is.
put
If you're-
here.
because
There's a
you-
reason why we can't change it.
Yes,
Let
it
me-
is.
yeah, let
Okay,
me-
hold
let
on.
me-
Because okay,
go
look,
ahead.
I'm gonna put it to you like this. Because see, like y'all know, I be like, I literally think it's like at the end of the day, the programming for the mentality is never letting up on us. Whether we want to do it or not, it's never letting up on us, because every single one of us are in our phone daily for hours.
So are you saying that it can't be changed?
The only way it can be changed is if you literally snatch yourself away from the system that's been created.
So-
because this is a
I
master.
disagree on that.
Listen,
Let me-
there's
let
no
me-
way.
Because
How can you get out of? How can you get out of?
Basically, what you're saying, we got to leave Earth.
No.
No.
Can I speak on that real quick?
Go ahead.
All right, so I hear what you're saying, because like, all right, what you're saying is you're saying like over years of being programmed in one way, and now since the world is turning, we got like everybody got different views. Let's just be real. There's a lot of shit that we have to accept now that we would not have accepted back in the day. You know what I'm saying? Like just period. It's just shit we would not have accepted back in the day. But at the same time, we've been programmed to accept it. So what we're talking about now, when you think about it, it's so low on the totem pole, and everything else that happens along this world, it jumps that course. Because at first, okay, think about you talk about light skin, well, no, just race period. Right? It's been an issue forever.
Ain't no
It's like-
forever.
I mean, well,
Since white people came.
okay, since white people
Because
came,
white
it's been-
people had
it's
to
been-
find a
it's been
way.
issue.
Because
Right,
white
right.
people use the Bible, like, without the Bible, nigga.
But-
and I
but
don't
let me
even
ask
want to
you
get on this topic. Hold on, I don't even want to get
wait,
into
wait,
this.
wait, wait,
But
wait, wait,
listen,
we're not
listen.
doing the Bible
Hold
thing.
on. Without
Let me
listen,
finish my
without
point.
the
Let me finish
Bible,
my
listen,
point.
no,
Let me
without
finish my
the
point.
Bible, the white people have no history.
Hold
All
on,
right,
let
hold
him
up, hold
finish.
up.
Let
All
him
right,
finish.
all right. So, but what I'm saying is this, okay? So look, you take Black history and everything else, and technically, like, we still been getting shitted on. But then you take the gay community, who's technically sat there and jumped us when it comes to equality and everything else.
Don't let that parade
Thank you,
start.
Mama.
So, and like I said, like, and think about, like, I'm not singling them. I'm not gonna single that community out. But technically, if you look at it, they've leapfrogged everybody when it comes to just being equal and everything else. black people don't get as much respect as gay people do when it comes to just fucking.
Because
and once again, hold on.
And I'm gonna explain why they're able to.
Once again, no offense to anybody in the gay community because we don't.
I'm gonna tell. Hold on. I'm gonna tell you. Hold on, big bro. Hold on, big bro. Hold on. Look, and the reason why they are able to develop what we would consider a community is because they all have to identify with the same discretion. You feel me? Or not? You feel me? The same drawbacks. They all are dealing with the exact same one. In this group right here, we all not dealing with the same transgression. No, we're not. Listen, he's straight. He might be straight. You might be fucked up. I might be fucked up. He might be fucked up. He might be good. He might be good. None of us are. So when that's the situation, the way you're viewing the world is different. Like when I talk to Lo, if I talk to Lo about the hood and how hard it is to be in the hood, he may be able to identify with it because he's seen certain things. But when I ask him about, have you ever had a syrup sandwich with potatoes that you cut up?
Yes.
I'm saying you may be able to, but I'm just saying, like there are black people that won't be able. Listen, there are black people that won't be able to identify with that.
Sure.
You know
that'll be like a mayonnaise sandwich. Are you crazy?
Daryl, I completely agree.
We do all deal with the same thing.
No, they can't. It can't. Listen, the society wouldn't. Listen.
Gay people stick together. That's why they have elevated above, and black people.
That's not really why. That's not. If we're gonna call a spade, it's because our system is run by homosexuals. If we're gonna call a spade, if we're gonna call a spade,
that's for
like basically all they did was give the rights that we were wanting.
So you said the system is run by gay people.
Facts.
2 days ago, and white people. So white gay people are running the whole fucking country.
Yes.
Well, but
homosexuals and Jews.
But the thing is to sit and say that we can't change. That's a rough statement.
Dog, listen. Only reason I say I don't say that we can't, but what I will say, ain't none of us gonna be around to see it because at the end of the day, listen. At the end of the day, listen. Hold on, big bro. I'm a realist. You feel me? I'm looking at this world. You feel me? And I'm looking at how in 20 years I'm gonna be 60. You feel me? And I'm not gonna have that fight. So I'm looking at what's supposed to be the fighters.
But what are you imparting along the way?
Listen. I understand. Listen, I understand. Listen. I feel what you're saying. What am I doing? What I'm doing is talking to my kids. I'm going to change inside my house. I'm going to make sure that my kids.
That's a change, bro.
No, but listen, that's not going to change. That's not going to change the
world.
Oh, you can't say that.
It's not even going to change the community because my kids are going to have. Listen,
But you just said your kids ain't going to do nothing.
If it's something to change your kids' mindset, that's a change.
Yeah, why even talk to them then?
Mindset, that's a change.
I know, but listen, I'm not going to change. Listen, none of us are going to listen. And Lo and T, you know, we already talk about this. At the end of the day, all of us is for sale. Every single one of us is for sale. Facts. All of us can be. No, we are on topic.
Wait, hold on, Darren.
We are on topic.
I'm gonna let you get the mic. I mean, so listen to what you're saying. Basically, there's no help. That we should just say
no. We shouldn't. We should develop it inside our house because hold on. Because this is a nation. Listen, this is a planet of inspiration.
But you're saying two different things. You're saying we should wait. Hold on.
Go ahead.
Don't say hold on, bro.
Go ahead.
You saying we should develop it in our house, but then at the same time you're saying the
It ain't
hard
gonna do no
drive
good.
can't be changed.
Right.
If you're developing it in the house.
Okay.
And the hard drive can't be changed. Which
Okay.
What are you doing it for?
Okay. Now my question is, which hard drive are we talking about changing? Are we talking about changing the hard drive of the community, or are we talking about me changing the hard drive in my household?
Watch this. Your house. Watch this. Please, this is hurting me.
Go ahead.
So, you said a contradiction.
True.
You said
I didn't.
I'm trying to change my kids'
Right.
mindset. I'm not going to be here for the change, but my kids ain't going to do shit because it's bigger than them.
I didn't say they wasn't going to do shit.
Basically, you did.
How did I say
You
it wasn't
did
going to
say
do
that.
shit? How?
Because you said it wasn't going to make a difference in the bigger picture.
Because y'all cut me
But
off.
that's a contradiction.
No, that's not a contradiction.
Right here.
That's not a
Right
Okay, real quick.
Go ahead.
Real quick.
On the edge.
How is that a
Just a quick
contradiction?
little history lesson going back to what he was saying.
Who was saying?
gentleman right there. Don't
Mr.
call him-
Mr. Inappropriate.
Okay, Mr. Inappropriate. Mr. Inappropriate.
You could have
All
said it. That
When
light
you
skinned
said,
dude over there.
That light-skinned nigga.
That light-skinned nigga.
The only light-skinned nigga up there.
No, that's infected. I don't use the word nigga. But going back
That's why
to
he going hard.
Italy, what happened in Italy was Africans, they want to say Moors, Africans, Moors, they called them Moors to clean it up so they didn't say they got their ass whooped by a bunch of niggas, since y'all want to use that word. But then black men from Africa overran Italy. That's why if you look at the Sicilians who run the mob, they were the ancestors of the African Moors, as Europeans want to call them, that overran Italy. Okay, that goes back to a system. What the Moorish generals did when they took over an area, they took the officers in their command, and they would go to the whites that lived, the Italians, and they would make their daughters marry one of their officers. That put Moorish blood into the Italian families. That's why if you get two Italians, some of them might come out almost looking like, not be funny, but like you. Right. So that's what part of the issue is. Now that same thing across the Atlantic, it came to America. When the slave owners came over and they started bringing us in, and then the first thing they did was start impregnating women, and they started a policy that existed for years that shackled us and stayed with us for years, and that's that lighten it up. If you're light-skinned, all that really meant was the kids, the bastards that he fathered, were put into the house to kind of, I can't claim you, but I'm going to make you good. Now you're a house nigga. And so they put him in that position. They elevated them to positions of power. So from early on in our communities, dark-skinned people were considered less than because we knew you was bastard child. So you had more power. So that transcended and it went on and on. My people are from Louisiana, Chicago, and Rialto, California. In Louisiana, if you know New Orleans, for the longest, anybody that got married, if they were your color or if they were your color or your color, they would be, you were told, I like my women just like I like my coffee with cream, okay? And a light-skinned person, you wouldn't marry me unless I was filthy rich, and then they would try to, that's why you saw black people during that time period walking around with umbrellas to keep their skin tone. So that transcended everything we did for the longest.
God damn.
Okay.
But do y'all realize that y'all have all just gave a narrative to take over?
Okay, so
somebody came to this country.
Wait.
So let's say before, because you got
stop.
You got Norwegians, you got Swedes, you got all kinds of different nationalities.
To see how it's infected us as a people to where we didn't identify with it, and by not identifying with, like you had some good points, but if we don't identify with the root problem. It can change. Bro.
Thank you.
It's easy to change.
It is
because just this dialogue we're having.
It's easy to change.
Oh, it's easy. No, because what's happening is once people identify something as being wrong, that's why people hate when I say this, but Trump did a lot for black people. We're having conversations that we never had before his punk ass got elected.
Out of everything bad comes something good.
Exactly.
I like
so
to
when
interject.
I say to that,
I agree.
Yeah, go ahead.
I agree with
So
you
I
on
want
that
to interject. One,
I agree.
I totally understand what you're saying about New Orleans, and I agree with that narrative. I think that, though, that even as a people, and I'm going to kind of go back, and some people may or may not understand this, there was only 2% of people that came over that like us. We were already here. Now, granted, they still infiltrated, they still took over, and we still allowed a certain thing. However, at the end of the day, we were already here. The so-called natives that were here look like us. We didn't, only 2%. I have one side of my family that has absolutely no slaves, okay? Another side that does. So once again, it is up to us, it is incumbent upon us today to stop having a combative conversation and saying, how then do we change the narrative? And you're right, we change it with our children, and I can tell you a lot about my children. I have 4. Again, a forest is created from one acorn. One drops, another one drops.
Period.
Another one drops, another one drops. Another one drops, another one drops. And then you have a forest. So it is incumbent upon us to continue to plant the seeds, whether or not we see them 20 years from now or not. So
Right.
until we
Now, I
stop
agree
this
with that.
narrative,
I agree with
until
that.
we as a people stop this narrative and this divide, nothing is ever going to change. And again, no one has power over us without our permission. And we
Indeed.
have given us
No, they don't have to have. Hold on, they don't have to have power over us. They got
Hear me out.
they got power
Hear me
over our
out.
mind.
Let it finish.
Because you can control a lot, but you cannot control my mind without my permission. I am intelligent enough to see programming. I'm intelligent enough to impart on my children, this is programming. I can turn the TV off. I can turn the radio off. I can control how much. I may not be able to control it all, but I can control how much programming I allow into my world. So for us to say that we cannot change the narrative and for us not to appreciate that this sister who has a lighter complexion than me has also been oppressed, even though I have a darker complexion than her, that is unfair to all of us to not recognize that we have all systematically been objected and subjected to the same programming. And at some point, we as a people have to say, enough. You can put all the shit you want to on TV, the radio, and everything else. I say enough. I'm recognizing what you're attempting to do. I'm not going to look at her and think that she's light, bright, whatever. This is another sister.
But at the end of the day, you have to take into consideration that this system has control. Like at the end of the day, we can talk all the stuff we want to do, but life is specifically about self-preservation.
And
hold on. And we live in. Listen, if you haven't taught yourself, like it has to be a mindful, consistent, daily thing done for change.
So you don't. Wait. Hold on.
Part of it is.
Can I?
Nigga, we drinking liquor in here. We drinking liquor. We eat pork. We
hold on. Time out. I think one thing that we're forgetting about in this conversation, because I hear what you're saying, and it, correct me if I'm wrong, but it seems like you're saying, educate yourself. Like us as the people, we have enough information.
Absolutely.
To what I'm saying, to educate ourselves.
To the world.
We have access to the world. Right, but
we walk around with a computer in our pocket all day and actually have questions.
Time out. But take that right there, the world. If you look at how the world is really set up right now, it don't even matter about the information that you could have. Or actually, hold on, let me take that back. It don't matter how much information this same room can have on the same page. But the way this world is actually set up, if you take a look at your phone, and the little things that you sit there and talk about, when you go online, that's the first thing that come up. So we can sit there and we could talk about we change ourselves from the information we have from ourselves. But at the end of the day, this world is really ran by what's right there in front of you when you sitting there fling it's a cyber world if you really want to think about it.
Exactly.
And that's how world. And people don't think for themselves no more. Nobody thinks for themselves no more. It's a very small percentage of people that think for themselves.
I beg to differ on that because what you're saying basically is that
people are cyborgs.
The phone, right? That's basically what you're saying. You're basically saying that people have no brain.
No,
you don't.
All right, hold on, time out.
You don't.
Hold on. You making it sound harsh.
You don't.
No.
He's saying right.
There's powers in words. There's powers in words.
You don't have a brain.
There's power in words.
You don't have a brain.
And you're making it sound harsh. What I'm saying is, first of all, we can still think for ourselves, but the way this world is built, even because right now, everybody, there's not one person in this world. Well, actually, no, there's not one person from here to next door. And even the other person, even another part, uptown. I'm sorry, that does not have does not have a cell phone with access with internet access.
Wait. So y'all gonna sit here.
The world is ran by the fucking internet.
But y'all gonna sit here.
I'm confused with y'all saying that y'all saying.
Whoa. So we're gonna blame.
I'm not blaming.
We're gonna blame the cell phone.
I'm not blaming the cell phone.
Yes,
but I'm saying.
Yes. So that's what's keeping us oppressed.
Yes,
that's not the cell phone.
Okay, well, hold on.
Can I explain it?
I can explain it.
So if we
don't
take,
say cell phone.
So if we take television, radio,
internet,
cell phones, internet away, black people gonna be better. That's what y'all saying.
Yes.
Yes or no?
Yes. Yes,
saying
yes.
I
I
would say
agree.
so, too.
I agree. And I'm gonna tell you why. Can I explain why?
Hey, well,
Can I explain why?
But I'm gonna tell you something.
I want to explain.
Yeah, I want to hear that.
Yeah, let me explain
Because
why.
if
And I'm
that's
gonna back
the
you up
case,
on it,
the
too, 'cause
cell
I got one,
phones,
too.
television, radio, and internet ain't going nowhere. So if that's the case, ain't no need of talking. Just shut the fuck up.
No.
thing that was
And, okay, I'm
water.
gonna tell you.
Go ahead, 'cause I got
I'm gonna tell you.
I'm
I'm gonna
back you
tell
up on
you
this.
why I say yes.
No, hold on. Let
Hold on, I'm gonna tell you why I say yes, we would be better off.
Right.
Because it would require certain things to survive. And when you educate yourself in things outside, because like y'all talking about you get to choose and you get to pick and all of this stuff, none of us have that power, because at the end of the day, there's somebody who chose what you're going to choose from. Yes, when you go into the Nike store, don't nobody show you all the Nikes that's ever made. It's somebody who picked the Nikes that's going to be in this store. There's somebody who picked the shirts that's going to be in this store. There's somebody who picked the pants that's going to be in this store. So it's somebody who already picked your choice. You think it's a choice. It's not a choice. Somebody already chose your choice. Somebody gave you.
It's a premeditated choice.
No, if I tell you, if I say, okay.
Answer my question.
Look, hold on. If I say you can, go ahead. What question? Go ahead.
Why are you here then? What's the point of the dialogue?
What you mean?
What do you mean,
No,
what am I-
because
If
my.
you think there is no other choice, if you think we cannot change it,
It's not that we can't change it. We have listen. Like
that's what
y'all
you've been
didn't.
saying.
If you let
Wait a
me,
minute, hold on.
if y'all let me finish.
Hold on, but you've been talking.
You've been talking a long time, bro.
Because y'all keep stopping me.
Wait, hold on.
Because y'all keep stopping me. I'm only trying to talk about one thing.
And I'm gonna let you talk about it. Watch
It's
this.
called
Watch
intellectual
this.
debate. Get to the
Hold on.
point.
Wait. I'm gonna let you talk. Hold up. What have he said? What have you heard him say?
He forgot.
No.
him
Real
say.
quickly, it ain't got to be a long.
He keeps going against what he may mean.
No,
You're getting too deep. Just say what did he say. Just off the top of your head.
Nothing.
Okay, what did he
No,
say?
he's saying the system's
He said
strong
that-
enough
I
to
mean,
impress
for
us
me,
enough to fight it.
I take a piece of what he just said.
Whoa, no. I'm gonna let him talk, but he's saying that he hasn't said what all of us are saying that he's saying. So I'm just trying to see, just real quick, what do you feel that he's saying?
So
He's saying there's not going to be any change.
Okay, that's it.
because-
No more. What is he saying?
From what I heard him say, is change is gonna start from within his household first, because he kept talking about his kids first, like his kids would change. You know what I'm saying? Like he can teach his kids.
What
So that's
what have you heard him say?
That there's no point.
What have you heard him say?
Program.
I mean, he's going back and forth, but I want to hear.
We're gonna hear it all. We're gonna hear it. But so far, what did he say?
He said both things. I'm not gonna do that, but
I know because we're saying that you're saying that there's no way that we can change. But then you're saying that you're not saying that, but everybody up here pretty much is saying that that's what you're saying.
I know, because y'all not letting
we
me
done let you
complete the
finish a lot of
idea.
times.
No, y'all not letting me. Y'all letting me finish, but y'all not letting me complete the idea. Y'all not letting me have a full thought.
Hold on.
To complete the thought.
Yeah, can't take up all the time.
I'm gonna tell you exactly what I'm trying to say. Now, about the choices and if we could change, I say start in your household, because this is a planet of inspiration. We inspire each other. So if you start and you focus on yours, at some point, the people who look like you around you are going to ask you, what are you doing? And then you can inspire them. I'm saying it's not going to be no change, because you can't help a bunch of motherfuckers. Like, you can't help a group when 10 of them want to see you fail and they willing to do anything to see you fail. I'm saying start in your house, and then the people in your group, which will probably become your group, because whoever your kids are around will potentially be influenced, hopefully. And if you have enough influence on your children won't be influenced by negativity, the things that will prevent it. So I'm saying start in your house.
And my love, I said a forest starts with an acorn.
Okay, that's all. I
And
agree when you said that.
You used a lot of fancy words, but you know what you basically said? Programming.
People.
We are. Listen, the way you think about yourself is based on this phone. The way you think about yourself is based on this phone, bruh.
I totally disagree with that.
Stop, huh?
That's a simple question.
I like this
Do you think it can be
conversation.
changed or not? Because I haven't
and stick to the topic.
Okay.
The
Can it
topic
be
of-
changed?
The topic
No,
of light skin,
I
dark
don't.
skin.
I don't think so. I don't think. I don't
Definitely.
think it could change. Not in our lifetime.
but
Not in our
no.
lifetime.
That's
Especially if
that's what I said. You've been saying.
Can it change? Because
Dog, listen.
who you're starting with
Dog.
may not be your lifetime.
Okay,
You may
but
hate
okay,
it,
well,
but
if you
that doesn't mean
if
it
you're
can't
gonna talk about eventually,
No, that's what you talking
no,
about.
if you're saying will
Which
it?
one you
Hold
talking
on,
about then?
I'm talking about whether it's gonna change. I'm
But
talking
you're
about in our life.
expecting your kids
Listen,
to
no,
change
I'm
at
talking
some
about
point.
if
What's
if
your
you say
general
if y'all
life?
listen, if y'all saying that will it change eventually? It's a
said-
potential.
he
It's
said no.
potential. It's a
Okay, then
potential.
now you're saying something
It's a-
different.
no,
But
but I'm
you
saying
said a
because
forest
when I'm
begins with
thinking
an
is
acorn.
y'all thinking about a change in our lifetime, like it's a change that we're potentially going to see.
Regardless of when it
We're
happens.
in-
You think it's going to be in our lifetime?
Yes.
Stop.
We're
Stop.
influenced.
I totally I totally disagree.
Wait, hold on, time
Nigga,
out.
the crack.
everybody-
Listen, bro, the crack.
Whoa.
No, the crack baby is 37 years
Hold
old.
up. Daryl. Hold wait.
Daryl,
Hey.
Hold on, pause.
Hold.
36
Everybody be quiet.
You
I'm
talk,
one of them, but what does that mean?
You talking
That
about
don't mean
from
it don't
a
change.
life? You talking about a worldwide change, Daryl? I don't think that's a realistic
I'm saying,
conversation right now.
I know, but we're talking about a worldwide
to
change.
say a change can't happen. Changes happen by baby steps. You know what I mean? And you
Why?
actually
Why
get-
do it have to be baby steps?
Because that's the way it's always been.
It has to be baby steps when you're inside of a system that doesn't belong to you and doesn't cater to you. You have to take baby steps.
But we're
And
talking.
the baby step is
But if
like
you-
with your child, like
No,
you're
listen.
doing.
No, listen.
That's the baby
That's
step
the baby
for
step.
future.
That's the baby step.
Hold on, time out. Hold on. Can I say something real?
But that doesn't
Can I
mean
say something?
change
Where did
won't
she finish?
occur.
Light skin.
Okay.
Light
Go
skin.
ahead.
Can I say something quick? All right, so hold on. Let me address the baby step part real quick. Now, all of us has took baby steps. We took baby steps in our careers. Comedians, we took baby steps as far as open mics and getting on stage and everything else. Every change starts with baby steps. So to your point, Daryl, it starts within your household first. It starts within your household, just like it's going to start with going down this line, everybody household first. But here's the problem that we run into. If your household is not conducive to her household, and then the household next over, that's where we have mixed views, mixed directions.
But
But
that should,
hold on,
for a
hold on,
thinker,
hold on,
for a thinker, that's expected.
Hold on.
Y'all just don't think like I think.
But
We have agreed. We all agree with that.
Let me finish.
Ain't nothing wrong with that at all.
But in no way, shape, form, or fashion is it to say that your way was wrong, her way was wrong, your way or no. Because at the end of the day, it comes with what you was wrong, what you was brought up with. In like where I'm from in LA, I didn't experience racism until I moved down here. Just to keep 100.
Exactly,
Because
I
in
agree.
LA, technically, we were all straight. White people, black people. Well, hold on, let me finish. White people, black people, we were all straight. We went to school, everything else. We didn't I did not see my first Confederate flag until I moved down here.
No, because that's where it
But
originated.
they're right,
It originated
because
here.
it started down here.
Bro, for you to say
let me
no,
finish, let me get it.
bro,
Let me
because
get it.
I'm getting offended, bro. I'm offended by you thinking
No,
that
no,
you didn't
no.
experience racism. You might not have experienced a person calling
you
you a
didn't
nigga
recognize it. You didn't
or
recognize it.
experienced a
Let me
person.
finish. Can I finish?
No,
Let me
no,
finish.
bro. Once you say that,
Daryl, let him finish. Let him
Okay,
finish.
hold on. So let me correct myself. When I say experience racism, I have not
In his face.
experienced racism to
Overt
the
racism.
I have not experienced racism to the level that other people have in other parts of the world. Because where I'm from, it wasn't as serious as it was like it was in the South. Now, granted, when I first moved down here, yes, that's when I seen my first Confederate flag. That was my
where
first,
you grew up? Where you grew up in
I
LA?
grew up in LA.
Where
I grew up
about?
in LA.
Where about?
Compton.
Okay,
Compton.
hold on. Now look. Now
You
now
wanna
just
say
hear me out.
racist? I
No,
get it,
no. I'm saying because like you don't see the racism because you don't do any research. But that's clear racism because that Compton was meant for you, people and people who look like you. That's why you didn't see racism because you was dealing with people who was in the same shit pot as you. But in the event that your ass would have went over the goddamn Calabasas, you would have experienced some racism.
But did you experience racism within your own race?
Facts.
I did.
Facts.
I did.
That's when you
I did.
experienced it first.
I did because I did.
That's how
I did
am.
because I did because where I lived is not where I went to school at. Because coming up, Yes, I was a 5-star athlete. I played football, basketball. So I did go to a school called Westchester, which was by the beach with some white people. Yes, I went to Saved by the Bell. I went to Bayside. I was there. I get it. I was there. But what I'm saying is the levels of racism was different. Now, when I moved to Atlanta, yes, it was an eye opener. I've never seen a Confederate flag until I moved to Atlanta.
Yeah, because
and when I say,
white people tolerate black people who bounce balls.
And when I say seen it, I don't mean just on TV. I mean waving in front of somebody's fucking house. Like I had to ask what it was because like with all honesty, I'm not embarrassed to say it. I didn't know what it meant because all it meant to me was that was the flag that was on the Dukes of Hazzard.
Thank you.
Hey, look.
That's all it was.
Speaking on racism
until I
with
moved
black
down
and
here.
white or within our own community.
That's why I try to interject the question.
We know racism
Did
happens
you
between
experience
black and
racism
white.
at your school within your own race?
The
I
only time I
wanted to
did-
stay on the topic.
Now the only time I did was coming back from practice or whatever. Oh, you out there with the white folks.
Right.
That was it. And
But
technically, that did not offend
That's
me
more of a hate.
because
we're not gonna let this go by. You was a 5-star athlete in football and basketball.
man,
And a model?
A whole five.
don't let it. Hold on. Don't let it.
That's why he was out by the beach. That's why he was out
Don't
going
let
to
my
the
side
beach.
fool you, folks.
Are you
I'm
military?
serious.
You ex-military? All right, I know that Lo is military and I was military.
Man, I got hood speed.
So,
I'll run all you.
when I
niggas.
went into the Army was
Today.
the first time
Yeah,
that
today
I
too.
encountered
That shit lasts.
You right.
that I encountered the racist culture. I had never encountered like racism in that I could like say, that's racism. When I went to the Army and went to Germany, I had a roommate who was from Alabama. And then across the hall, we had a dude that was from Tennessee. And this is 86, 87. The culture that they were coming from I was like, whoa, what the fuck is that? Because they were talking differently. They were speaking about things differently that I, as a city kid, never, ever saw.
Oh, see, I saw racism within our own race within the military.
That's where I first
You know
seen
what
it.
I'm
Yeah.
saying? Within our own race, and I'm saying, even if it was something as in, he old country ass motherfucker from Alabama, he ain't smart.
Right.
Yeah, and this was coming from another black person talking about another soldier that I knew, and I'm like, what do you mean?
But where does that thought process come from to think?
And we're not saying the thought process doesn't come from there, bruh. That's what
Where
you seem
we
to think
come
we keep
from,
fighting
we
at.
might not have
What we're talking about right now.
question
Wait. I get. We're not fighting that part. We know that where it comes from. But just because it comes from there, does that mean that we can't fight it within ourselves right now? That's the way you're coming across.
What they say, when you know better,
you know what? Them motherfuckers
you
put
do
it in
better.
us, and that's the way we're gonna be. Fuck it. That's the way you're coming off. That's the way you're
Okay,
coming off.
okay,
Not
okay.
saying that
What
that's
are
what
your
you want to
And
say,
you know,
but that's what you're saying. That's what it sounds like.
Let me try to clarify. It's the reason it's coming off that way is because y'all are looking at it from acceptance by them standpoint, and I'm thinking
Who is them?
We're not accepting
Wait,
it.
Who is them?
Can we
Who is them?
specifically
Because
speak
we're
on-
not talking about them tonight. We're
Yeah,
talking
Daryl,
about
listen,
Can
we're
we
talking about
specifically
us.
speak on
No,
us?
listen.
Daryl,
I understand that we talking.
Daryl, the narrative that you're
We're talking
on.
about
If you talking, if we talking, listen.
Listen, I want you to think, Daryl.
I'm saying we can't talk about us without talking about them because
Yeah,
the way
yes,
we
you
think.
can.
No,
Yes,
the way
you
we
can.
think is because of them.
I don't even care about them. What about
stop.
us?
No,
Where are your experiences as
wait.
racism within the black community?
Period.
We have
Right.
another
That's
black.
what-
Where did we learn that? Where was that learned? If that don't matter. That don't matter where it was learned.
And this
That's why we in this position.
No.
It may be,
Because
but we
it
don't care
hasn't-
about it today. We care
The thing
about
is-
it.
Can I say something? Can I say something?
Daryl, we can go to every conversation in the world and come back to where it came from. But that doesn't change it.
It's not changing.
Right.
It doesn't change it.
We have to talk
you have to
about-
be able to only way you change things is to acknowledge it, to accept it, to see for what it is, and then you address it, bruh. We gotta stop. You can't just
Stop
keep
blaming
blaming
the
somebody
white
else.
man
You can't
for
keep
blaming
blaming,
white
blaming,
damn
blaming.
thing.
You never accomplish
I'm
it that
so
way,
tired
bruh.
of
You can't
hearing
get
people
that
say,
way.
I didn't get that job because that white dude, you know, he interviewed with me. Maybe the white dude actually had a, you know, maybe he dressed the right way.
But
Maybe he
that
acted the
doesn't
right way.
even matter.
We just do that way too much. So right now, what we're talking about, and this is what we try and talk about mostly on the show. I know we don't do it all the time, but what we try and talk about is things that's going to affect the community now. I promise you, everybody knows what happened in the past. Everybody knows, probably not fact for fact. We don't know everything that happened in the slave
But
days.
we wasn't there.
None of us was there, but we only know what was given to us.
Y'all don't even care.
It's not
Yeah, but Daryl, you're living in it.
No, I'm not
It
living
seems
it.
like
No,
it.
no.
Yeah, man.
What I understand is that you can't solve a problem if you don't understand what caused the problem.
We already know the problem. You can't. The problem with this is you feel that we don't understand it because we don't want to talk about it.
Right.
Oh, but you already
We tired of
created your
talking about that
narrative.
bullshit,
Yeah.
bruh.
Let's
We
talk
don't
about the
talked about
solution.
it. We don't talked about white people bringing us over here. We don't talked about white people hanging us. Let's talk about doing shit
Let's
without
talk
our
about
solution.
us.
That's not even what I'm talking about.
Let's talk
Well, that's
about
what-
somebody out there, a black man out there walking in an AT&T. We talked about this last week. Dude walking into the AT&T store, talking just like an ass.
Well,
They
this is
had
my
shit to
first
do with
week
white
on the
people.
show, so I ain't
They had
talking
nothing to do
about
with
it.
white people. That had to do with him.
Hold on, y'all.
It was him.
Darren talking about where the light-skinned, dark-skinned mindset came from. Cool beans.
We
know
understand
hold
where
on,
it came
Sister Lou. We know where it came from. But let's talk about now within the black community, after we've developed where this came from, now we use it against each other. Now we grew up saying light-skinned people think they're better because the dark-skinned girl said so. Or she thinks she's cute because she's light-skinned. Those are the things I dealt with within our community. No, I never felt that way, but dark-skinned girls have told me that. They picked on me because I'm light-skinned, because
That's
they feel
what we
like
talking about.
somebody else likes me because I'm lighter and they're darker, or her hair is better.
Thanks
as
for bringing it back in,
Free
sis.
said. That's the subject. Forget where it came from. Forgive me. I don't care about white people. I'm not white. I'm light-skinned, but I'm black. So let's fix what's within us. And that's what we're talking about. So what did you experience in the black community, racism, favoritism, or colorism as a paper sack brown young man?
Paper sack brown.
Paper sack.
Because you're fair-skinned in my
Okay.
opinion.
He
personally-
Light-skinned
Listen,
or dark-skinned.
personally, I
What?
am. I'm just not one of those people. I'm not one of them people who's going to talk like I totally understand what y'all saying. How can we solve the problem in the moment? Whatever. What I've dealt with racism from black people. I've dealt with racism from
We
white
only care
people.
about black
Such
people
as
tonight.
what?
We only
Such
care
as
about
what?
black people
Huh?
tonight. And
Lord.
say
Such as
why.
what?
What? As far
How
what?
were you treated differently or treated somebody else differently based on the color of your or their skin?
The tone of your skin.
Me, how was I treated?
Yeah.
I played for a basketball team with 2 white players on it. When we went to Florida to play an all-star game, and when we got to the hotel, when all the black players walked up to the thing, we had a white coach. The concierge said to our white coach in front of us, "All these niggas with you?"
He said niggas?
Listen, all these niggas with you?
Wait, where was y'all at?
Listen, Florida. Listen. When we was playing the game, when we was playing the game, they was throwing brushes, batteries, rocks, and shit onto the court inside.
Great.
Okay.
Okay.
Talking
Darren,
about
what
racism,
has the
not
black
colorism.
person done
Okay.
to you?
What has a black-
person
Colorism.
done?
The way to stop. Can I say something?
Somebody who looks just
Daryl,
like you. How
right,
have
Daryl.
they offended you based on your skin tone?
Daryl,
I can't. Me personally, I can't say a black person offended me just on the basis of my skin
Okay,
color.
great. Sit back, cross your legs. Let's hear what somebody
Thank you, sis.
MJ
Okay.
has something.
I was leading in that to say if we educate ourselves, like some of the points I hit on, a lot of African Americans don't know that, and that's I know because you grew up with the Moody.
Well, I'm just saying.
Yeah, exactly.
I like Daryl. Like, don't get me wrong. As well as Daryl.
Let him finish.
Yeah, so my point is simply this, and I think he's wrong because mass change can occur because for the first time, white America, except a great majority, voted Trump out and recognized the fact that there is white privilege. Now, what's happened with us and why I wanted to speak on it is those are some of the last remnants of the shackles, the mental shackles, or the fact of how we treat each other in our race according to color. And both these sisters have been right on spot on tonight. And part of that is just acknowledging it. The difference is now they have this thing called mass media. If a good, like say this podcast, you say something hot, it goes viral. If we just have these conversations, I guarantee there's a lot of people out there that didn't know what I spoke on or didn't know what you spoke on. A lot of people feel the way you feel because it's true. Nobody's taking away what you say, but the quickest change you can make in America is because now they've acknowledged it, but the bigger part of it that came out of Trump is we acknowledged it.
Amen.
All of us together as a collective and as a whole. You
And
haven't
out
seen
loud.
this many people, black people together since the 60s and the 50s. And I see it because of my profession. I saw it firsthand. I saw the change.
Right. And
Black Lives Matter first march, I was on Center Point. I saw a white, very well-known newscaster walk through a sea of black people that he could, all AU Center kids in leather sweaters, Morehouse, Cabos were out there. Everybody was marching. He walked through a sea of black people and found the one nigga monkey on the corner to talk to and get a quote from. And that's when it came nationwide, when it says, kill the pigs. And all of a sudden became, ooh, a black rally. Oh, it's nasty. I was a SWAT commander for Atlanta at the time. I saw him do it. He walked past all these kids, all these articulate black kids, and found the one homeless project monkey on the corner.
We see that
That's
every
the
day on
issue.
the news.
No, but my point is simply this. What happened to Trump is now we're together. We realize how organized a lot of people. No, a lot more together because you have
a lot more together.
A lot of African Americans that grew up on a certain level that never really understood the struggle. For the first time, and some of them purposely missed seeing the struggle. Some of them just didn't know because of where they were born or raised at. And then the poorest people never saw anybody black successful. They grew up with a white cop, white fireman, white doctor, white mayor of their city, and they don't see blacks in a strong position. Atlanta's different. But most cities where people, African Americans originate from just started getting black mayors in the late 80s and 90s. So what's happening now, we've acknowledged it, we've made changes from leaps and bounds. Dialogue and what we're actually talking about, race will make a difference because people are gonna look at it different. Denzel started it, you know, and so what ends up happening, I grew up, I experienced it to a certain level, but I'm not a very easy person to fuck with, so I didn't get it. It was never on a negative level, but it did affect other people. And what I say by that, I also know where back in the day, any sports athlete, actor, when he made it to a certain level, he either got a white woman or a light-skinned woman. And that goes back to my people originated from Louisiana, and that was a thing that was said that, you know, hey, when you make it to a certain level, lighten it up. Your coffee, you know.
Well, how you know they just want attracted to a light-skinned woman?
No,
we're gonna get to that.
Yeah, but it was open dialogue. I'm not saying it wasn't, but for a long time in our community, that was accepted norm. Comedians even had jokes
Hey,
about
20
it.
years from now, 20 years from now.
Wait.
Hold on. We got a caller.
Got a call on the line.
Go ahead, caller. Announce yourself, please.
Hi, I'm here.
What's your name?
I can start talking?
Yes, what's your name first?
Oh, my name is Coach Steele, and I play kickball with Kiki.
Okay. All right, go ahead. What's your comment? Go with your comment.
You got a big booty.
I am a dark-skinned female woman, and growing up, I remember my family telling me that I was not pretty enough because I was dark-skinned. I had wanted, like to go to LA or something to become an actress, but they discouraged my dreams because they felt that I was not pretty enough, because I wasn't light enough. I remember when I would be dating guys, and I thought that I was going to marry a guy that was eventually made it to the pros, and he said to me that I was not light enough, that I did not make the team because of my complexion.
Wow.
He said my body was right, but my complexion was not right. I remember in school where I was an honor roll student, and it came time to pick for speakers for graduation, and I did not make the first and second. First and second speaker, but we had to vote for the third speaker. And it was like the campaign was, I thought I ran a campaign of me and my awards in my resume, but it later became who you gonna vote for, the light skinned girl or the dark skinned girl?
Wow.
And my school
That was fucked up.
all black.
It was.
We only had 2 people white graduate in my class. And just from living an adult life, I have always felt the men I've dated, the conversations of their friends when we all be in the same room, and their preference just has always been of a lighter complexion female. And then I would get an excuse like, oh, no, but you all right. You good, though. You good. And that within itself it doesn't make a dark-skinned 6-year-old, 7-year-old, 8-year-old feel good about herself growing up. And even right now as an adult, we black women will say we prefer a dark-skinned man and don't even want a light-skinned man and laugh about it. And that, too, is not right.
Well, they're not in.
So I am thankful for this.
So
was that a question for me? Was that a question?
Yeah, well, let me ask you, having grown up like that and having to dealing with that, I mean, so what did that do for you as an adult? Did it change your views on the light and dark skinned person in terms of like did it change your attraction? Did it make you? Do you have kids and you know, how do you adjust to them? Are they light skinned, dark skinned, what have you?
It made me not feel good about myself. And when I say not feel good, I'm not even making reference to self-esteem. It made me question, why is the world this way? When I say the world, I'm really just talking about my family and friends, because when you're 6, 7, 8, 9, that is your world. And so I always question, like, why did I have to be the dark one? Or why aren't I viewed as the pretty one? Or what can I do to become pretty? And you know what? This guy said something to me, not just one guy, but just over the years. He said, I remember when we were, I was dating, and his friend said, do you have any friends? And I said, yeah, I have a bunch of friends, because I was a dancer in high school, a dancer in college, etc. I said, yeah, I have a bunch of friends. And then the first question he asked was, are they red? So I said, no, not the friends that I'm wanting to hook you up with. You know, they about my complexion. He said, oh, man, damn it. Well, is she fine? So I said, well, I guess she's fine. She's a dancer with me. And he said, you know what? When a girl is dark, she got to be smart, bad body, good dresser. Like, she got to have everything else. But when she's red, that's all she needs.
Hell no, she can't be fat and ugly.
Like she get a pass.
Well, let me tell you this, still. Let me tell you this from a light-skinned girl. And this no cap, y'all. Still is definitely cute. Not as a dark-skinned girl or anything. She's a pretty woman. She's fine. But as a light-skinned girl, I don't even think all light-skinned girls are cute.
Right.
Just because you're light-skinned don't mean you're cute. I mean, I think I'm cute, but I think I'm cute because I think I'm cute. But it don't have nothing to do with me being light-skinned. If I was dark-skinned, I would still think I'm cute. So, like all light-skinned people, I don't know why it's even viewed that way. I can point out several of my friends that's on Facebook.
And you know what? Sometimes it doesn't even have to be about light skin or dark skin within the race. When Daryl started talking about the basketball thing, I thought back, and I meant to talk about this earlier. When I was playing high school basketball, we played against an all-black school, and they wasn't that far from us. You know, and I went to a mixed school. And I knew a lot of these cats, and there was like only 2 of them on the team that I really rocked with, because the rest of them just seemed like they had an issue with me. As we got older, a man told me, he was like, man, them cats didn't like you, bro, because they felt that you had an advantage. So what do you mean? It was like, man, they felt that you was over there kicking it with them white folks and that you had it going on. They had never been to my house. You know, they had never seen that I was wearing pair of jeans twice, but I just changed the belt to make it look like it was a different pair of jeans. But it was just because I went to a school with white people. The black folks at the black high school automatically didn't like me. What they had to do with skin color, I don't think it did. But they didn't like me because they felt that I had an advantage, because I guess you could say, going back to the slave mentality, I was in Master's house. Even though I wasn't in Master's house, I may have been going to master school, but I was still back in at that trailer, that I grew up in. So, this is the type of thing. I didn't recognize racism until the racism that I faced as a younger person. I really didn't recognize it until I became grown.
But is it racism
looking back on
race?
it?
Are we trying to come up with a solution for why? Are we trying to come up with a solution for why we do each other like this?
You can go to fat people and skinny people.
I'm just saying.
You can do it in any category.
I'm saying, is this topic about how are we going to find a solution to it, or are we just gonna sit here and talk about how we don't like each other?
We're gonna do both.
Right.
What's the solution? What's the solution?
We're talking about it, hoping that somebody can hear it. And I mean, like I've always said about this show, we're not experts. So what we're hoping is that the dialogue here will spark a solution somewhere that somebody's listening. If it don't come from this panel, at least everybody listening. I mean, even with the stuff that you've said, some people out there listening and probably thinking, damn, you know what? He's right. We got to figure out a way to change that or whatever, or change what I said. Or change.
That was my question.
It's basically what we do on this show. We have dialogue to hopefully spark a solution somewhere. At least get motivation to try, and we're trying to point out something that a lot of people I feel a lot of people don't recognize, because I feel that a lot of people in all skin complexions within our race sometimes don't clap back when somebody come at them in a certain way. If they're dark skinned, somebody be like, "Oh, yo, Wesley Snipes, look at that old dark motherfucker," and they laugh at it when it bothers them, but they don't say anything about it. And that's what I'm hoping.
Well, how many people on the panel is guilty of colorism?
Everybody, probably.
I think all of us.
I always wanted a Puerto Rican chick when I was growing up.
But she ain't black.
Puerto Rican chick.
I'm gonna address what you said.
But she was light skinned.
We
But
talking
she was
about black
light skinned.
people. Well, we talking about black people.
I'm black, but I'm just saying.
Oh yeah, you are.
I see what you're saying.
So, all right. So to address what you said, okay. So, in some instances, it comes as joking off and stuff like that. In some areas, you might not sit there and feel the need to sit there and have to
quantify,
like defend your blackness, because at the end of the day, I can't change who the fuck I am. I'm not gonna change who the fuck I am.
I had to defend me being black.
But is that something you have to grow up? Did you get as an adult though?
Now,
You know what I mean?
now guess what?
You become numb to it and say, you know what? Fuck,
Now
I ain't
guess
gotta
what?
prove nothing.
This goes back to what Daryl was talking about earlier. Because I went to a white high school in a rich neighborhood and lived in the hood. Yes, I did have to go through the. Actually, you know what? Hold on. There's a TV show out right now, All American. If you watch it,
that's you.
And it's exactly
5-star.
Exactly. Like if you really want to be out, my nephew is the one who saw the episode first and said, "Hey, you need to watch the show because it's about you." It's exactly the same road. So with honesty, yes, we can sit there and be deemed the fact that, oh, you're not in tune with your neighborhood. You're not in tune with this because of an opportunity that we have to sit there and maybe go somewhere else. Because let's just be honest with you. In some neighborhoods, and I'm not gonna say black or white, I'm not gonna sit there and say that, but some opportunities are a lot greater in some neighborhoods than they are others. It doesn't mean white or black or Mexican. It just depends on which area you're going into.
No, truth be told, hold on, truth. Go ahead.
Yes, you can.
Okay. So at the end of the day, we all recognize that there's a problem. Can we agree on that?
Yes.
Yeah, we all
Okay, so
do
we
that.
can all agree that there's colorism within our race. So if we can
All day.
recognize something, then therefore there's an opportunity to do something different. As
Facts.
compared to our conversation, we clown, light skin, we don't even recognize the fact that it could be offensive. Now we would call our white friends out if they did not say something to one of their other white friends for calling somebody else a nigger. However, when we clown other light-skinned or dark-skinned people within our own race for saying something, we all joke and laugh. So again, if we can recognize that there's a problem, that means there's already a consciousness awareness. Therefore, we've superseded the programming because we recognize a problem.
Okay, can I say something?
No,
I ain't say nothing for about 10 minutes. Go ahead. After that. I ain't say nothing.
I want to comment on what you just said, though.
If we can recognize that there's a problem, then we can start to begin to move towards a solution. So again, if we can recognize there's a problem, we have an opportunity to create a solution, regardless of the programming. So until we stop talking about the issue, we already know there's an issue. We already know that there's a problem. We can sit here and talk day in and day out about where it originated, who's perpetuating it. But until we start talking about the solutions, we're only regurgitating the same thing over and over and over again. So the bottom line is, how do we, if we know there's a problem, again, that means we're already superseding programming, because if we did not know there was a problem, we would not supersede the programming. So since we know that, how do we begin to systematically override the programming? And it begins, in my humble opinion, without us mitigating or insulting, oh, here come old light brights, or she thinks she better because she's light skinned.
Okay, so can I say this real quick?
Hold on before you do that. We got to acknowledge the caller real quick.
We
Go ahead, caller.
Oh, we got some callers.
Yeah.
Go ahead, caller.
It's a good ass topic.
Hey, folks! It's Brian Maddox, man.
my homie.
Lived in the same area as JT as a high schooler, and I heard him talking about going to school, high school basketball game. It honestly wasn't because of anything else. He was the light-skinned, pretty nigga. Okay, that was about it. Okay, didn't nobody.
This nigga is not light-skinned.
Definitely not light-skinned.
Hang up on that motherfucker.
You go to Mississippi.
He set the black. He set the dark-skinned guys back a little bit when he came in town. Man, he's from New York. I didn't like him because he had suede Adidas. That was about it. I was a fashion cat. So, but anyway, I did want to chime in real quick. Everything I hear you guys talking about, at the end of the day, I think one of the main solutions is we need to start showing love. And what I mean by that is, at the end of the day, things like that happened in your past, like those things happened to me in the 60s and the 70s, and I'm still carrying that stuff around. So, for instance, I would love to date a dark-skinned woman. I'm dark-skinned. But immediately in my mind, if I see one that I'm attracted to, immediately in my mind, I say, oh, she likes light-skinned guys, so why even bother? So you carry that stuff with you throughout life. And so either if you don't have any personal, professional help to actually help you kind of work out those things and get past that and love yourself totally, I think part of it is just starting to show love to as many people as you possibly can, even in your small circle. Kids, grown-ups that you meet, people who probably haven't felt love. You'd be surprised how many people don't even actually feel love on a daily basis. Somebody even cared about them. So, participating and making sure that we visit black businesses and letting them know why you're doing it, I think is important. Not just going, but telling them why you're there.
Okay. All right.
So, things like that. That's all I wanted to talk about.
Okay. All right. Now, I'm going to look at it. I'm going to ask a question because obviously I'm taking the opposite stance than y'all. Now,
obviously.
We will agree that because we're not even going to talk about outside our community. We're going to talk about inside our community.
Right.
Inside our community, would we all agree that this discussion is what we would consider a fight?
A fight?
A fight. Do you feel like
a
fight?
Yes, fundamental change.
Okay, I'm just saying, will we consider this a fight? Like, will we consider that this is a problem between black people?
Yes, that's why we're here.
All right, okay. Definitely. So because apparently the vernacular that I'm using is not.
I don't know what that means.
Exactly.
Like
Exactly.
What do you mean, vernacular?
Apparently the vernacular that I'm using is not translating.
Okay.
So I'm gonna put it
I like
into some shit that y'all actually indulge in, and I'm gonna use football and boxing as the narrative. Okay, if you're a boxer and you get beat and you continue to get beat,
you're not a good boxer.
Be quiet, nigga. Let me finish, nigga.
That nigga word.
Bro, you niggas, y'all don't think, nigga. I'm a thinker. Wow. If you're a boxer, listen, because if you're a boxer and you keep getting beat by the same person, do you go watch the round you lost, or do you go watch the whole fucking fight to see how you lost?
I think you need to go start playing a little sport.
Y'all, bro, we're not gonna. And then in football, it's the same thing.
Bro, can't
if you
nobody
get beat
hear
by this
you.
team, are you gonna watch the whole footage of the game, or are you just gonna watch the fourth quarter that you lost in?
Can you just you ain't gotta yell. That's all.
He can't help it.
Because the feedback.
He
I
in
promise you, they
between.
can't hear you.
He's passionate about
I
what
know
he's
he's
talking
passionate.
about.
I know,
He's
and
passionate
I
about what he's
love
talking
it. I
about.
love it. Just you don't have to yell into it. Back up.
Are you
for it.
guilty of colorism? Hold on.
But I
Hold on, I got a question for
Go
Daryl.
ahead.
Are you guilty of colorism within our race at all?
Listen, if you
I'm asking yes or no.
no,
It's real simple.
no,
You've never
if
done it.
Never,
You've never. Okay.
never, ever.
Never
I
call
look-
somebody dark skinned.
Never,
Or light skin.
ever. Listen, I was the person.
Or
I
you
was the
don't
person.
remember.
While y'all talking about colorism in school, I was the person that hung with the person that didn't nobody want to hang with. The person that was sitting at the table by himself, I wouldn't ate lunch with him.
So is that person?
I wouldn't ate lunch with him. The person that everybody said stunk, the person that everybody said was broke, had messed up shoes, that's the table I sat at. That's the person I talked to.
Daryl, can I ask you a question?
Go ahead.
So y'all was the ones being
Daryl,
picked on.
Can I ask you a question?
Go ahead.
Do you think any other narrative is right other than your own?
Oh no, I'm saying, listen, because the
It's a
narrative.
yes or no
No, I
question.
don't. No, I don't think any other narrative is wrong.
Daryl,
Go ahead.
asked you a yes or
I said no. I
Okay,
said
so
no.
You said no. So everybody at this table has a different narrative than your
No,
own.
y'all all got the same narrative.
No. Again, excuse me. I think that each person would humbly disagree that we have our own minds.
I didn't say y'all didn't have your own minds. I said y'all all under the
didn't say
same
you
narrative
did.
of black and white.
Daryl?
Of black and light skin.
Daryl.
She said Daryl?
Daryl, I would humbly disagree if I asked each person at this table, do they have a different narrative than your own? I am certain.
I agree. All y'all narrative different than mine.
Then again, you just answered my question.
But y'all all under the same
Daryl?
narrative.
No, we each have a different narrative
Said Daryl?
than your own. I
love when
asked
she
you,
say
did you
Daryl.
think any other narrative was right other than your own?
I said no.
Okay, again, so you answered that question. And then I said,
So you the only one right?
each
No.
of us has a different narrative than your own. Does not make yours wrong, does not make ours right, or vice versa. It is called a discussion. Again, we each have our own viewpoints and opinions. That is why he pulled a panel, not one individual, but multiple individuals. And I humbly digress that you are attacking the
Attacking?
narrative.
You're definitely
Attacking?
Okay, again, Daryl.
Daryl?
Three different people. You heard three different people.
It hurt.
Attacking?
You heard three different people say
Attacking?
that they perceive you as attacking
Slap his wrist.
their narrative.
Because y'all looking through a white people lens.
Again, Daryl.
No, that's not my
That's
opinion.
your opinion.
This idea, listen, the idea of black and light skin came from white people.
Our narrative is different than your own.
We did.
I won't
Great.
say nothing else. I'm
Okay.
Daryl. Hey, B, you still there?
Daryl?
Maddox, you still there?
Hell no, he hung up a long time ago. He hung up 15 minutes ago.
I'm still here. I was waiting.
You still
I
on the
was
line?
waiting for Daryl to finish his
man,
question.
this dude.
Oh, you trying to get your point across, didn't you?
Hey, man, I'm gonna say it now because I've said it to you a couple times. I'm gonna change it right now. I've been some times I call my dog Black. Hey, Black, what up, bro? What up, Black? When he called me, sometimes I say that. I'm gonna stop saying that, bro. When I say B, it's for Brian. It's not for Black. All right.
Hey, when I say
what,
nigga, it's
man?
because you a nigga. What's happening, nigga?
Yeah, you know what? You know what, man? Again, when I listen to even Daryl's perspective, I mean, he still has very valid points.
Very valid.
I'm not
Very
arguing
valid.
about anybody's point. The gentleman from Cali, I felt what he was saying because it was different. When I moved out to Cali as a kid, I was from Norfolk, Virginia, and racism, as a kid, I don't think I really understood it or had overt understanding of it.
My name Cali Bo,
But
by the
in
way.
Cali, in Cali, it was a little different. It was just a different. You know, I had a lot of people. That was my first experience with multiculturalism. You know, I just had a lot of people around me that was different, and it just didn't. Even though I probably was living through racism at the time, I didn't feel it as the same until I actually moved to Jersey, and that's the first time I actually felt like I experienced some true racism But when we're keeping the subject back on colorism, I still think that a lot of people are experiencing. Think about this culture or the younger folks we're dealing with right now. A lot of them have grown up and have no idea what it feels to be loved. Like, honestly, like nobody in their family showed them that, and definitely not any teachers or anybody that may have had a positive influence on them. So I still think at the end of the day, we've got to make a fundamental shift in how we approach each other and address each other. And just, it sounds like pie in the sky, but what else can you do but reverse the way people possibly feel about themselves? So thanks for letting me talk, guys.
Appreciate it, man.
Appreciate you, appreciate you for holding because you held on.
I just think that the even what Daryl's saying, nobody's arguing that point of where it came from. I think we've all acknowledged the where. It's the fact that it's happening. And when Coach just called, I mean, that was deep. That was some deep things she was saying. When your own family is saying you're too dark skinned to succeed. You know what I mean? Now, where is that interpreted? Where it come from? Yes, you're 100% right. We know where it comes from, but the fact that it's in the family, and like my aunt, she wanted me to point out, like the Spike Lee movie, School Days. I mean, that junk highlighted it so much. You know what I mean? The dark skin, light skin. I mean, and it's a real live issue. You know what I mean? It's a real live issue, and I had light skin, dark skin friends, but when the Jonas started, that's what they attacked. They attacked the easiest target.
Exactly. Who the easiest target, though, Angelo?
No. My point is. No, my point is they attack whatever they can feel like they can get you on.
What they say about light-skinned people? We can't fight.
I mean,
we sensitive.
Not too many colors.
Well, just the light skin period, just the light skin thing, or you black is this. You know what I mean? It's always an attack. It's just one of those things that occur. You know what I mean? Just
I said this earlier about an hour ago. It's human. This is what we do.
But it's not what we have to do.
As in who?
No, I didn't say that. But I said it's what we do.
But it's one thing to do it. It's another thing to actually bring someone down. Like what the coach was saying a minute ago, to degrade them because of the color of their skin. You know what I mean? That's what we're talking about. We're talking about how do you address things within your community when you actually degrade someone, you make somebody feel lower because they're dark.
So in the Caucasian community, isn't it the pointing of the finger at the? No, I'm saying because I look at equality. Isn't it that they look down on trailer park trash, as they call it?
They can call each other whatever they want to call each other.
I'm just going back to the point of humans.
Right,
it happens all over.
But it doesn't mean it's right.
About us.
I'm not saying I'm not talking about us. I'm saying equal fair ground.
Right.
Humans do this shit.
Damien, listen,
is that right?
No, it's not right. But we do it.
Everybody, it's already changing. Can I say something?
That's all I'm saying is stop doing it.
Yeah. It's already changing. Look at the two sisters up here. Back in the day, they would say her hair is unkept. Back in the day, they'd be like, do you really want to do that, girl? Why don't you straighten your hair? The hair is changing, and you see now more and more sisters are dressed, their hair's nice, they're dressing more of a natural look. We're going back to
some of them don't need to be natural.
It's accepted. Of course, it's not.
It's accepted.
It's not 100%.
Yeah, because but a lot more are accepting and letting that be part of who they are.
Correct.
Like now,
because it's accepted in the workforce.
As soon as a brother ran cornrows, he was a thug, right? Now everybody's doing it. And what I'm saying, it's not going to change our mindset because the shackles were stronger on us. But our kids, they're going to grow up, those little girls are going to grow up where that's the hairstyle they want. And that unkept hair is beautiful. That sister is beautiful.
They will grow up with a more understanding about today's, about how today is ran.
Hey,
hold
up, real talk. Wait. I don't know if she's watching. Coach Steele, if I know you got off the line, if you're still watching the show, please give us a call back. I had a question for you.
So, what you're saying is, I feel what you're saying. Okay, so at the end of the day, so here's one thing that we tend to forget. Okay, our grandparents grew up a certain way. Our parents grew up a certain way. We're growing up a different way too. Our kids, hold on, time on, listen. Our kids are growing up in a different way.
Times change.
And when I say to our kids, it's more of a level of acceptance and understanding. Grandparents, there was no understanding, black and white. parents, somewhat of a little bit.
Right.
Us, yeah, we're in the middle. We're gonna. It depends on where you're at.
You have kids?
Yeah, I have one son, a 6-year-old,
What's his
a
color?
7-year-old.
What's his color complexion?
He's about your complexion, actually.
Okay. I was curious whether or not he was
Well, let me tell
light
y'all.
or dark, and whether or
No,
not
no,
that
yeah,
issue has come up in your house.
he like, but granted, he's about. Granted, he's only 7. So
That's where it starts.
So at the end of the day,
Period.
he's going to be in that beginning stages of really your life and your surroundings before your race, before your color.
I would have to allow me
Identify
to interject
you.
something right there
Hold
when
on,
you
hold
said
on,
that.
hold
No,
on.
I just want to say my
Stay there, Coach.
granddaughter, who is 8 years old, when we asked her who was her teacher, and we said, so is she black, white? She said she's light chocolate. Because for her,
Light chocolate.
everybody, she grew up in a family of black excellence. Everybody is identified as light chocolate. So she was just like, she's light chocolate. And the woman was white, okay?
Right.
But for her, she was light chocolate. So when I say it begins with our children and her twin brother, who is extremely chocolate, we're always like, oh my God, your skin looks like it's kissed by God. He would literally come up to people and be like, you see my skin? It's so pretty. Like, he thinks he has the most amazing skin in the world
does.
because we have impacted and imparted
Right.
in him
That's
that
the
he
change.
is, oh
That's
my
it.
God.
So that goes back.
That's
So guess what? Right.
There it is.
That's the change.
Right. So guess what? That point right there prove what I'm just sitting there talking about. Our grandparents was raised a certain way
Go.
and a certain understanding, and it lightened up to some way with our parents, and then with us,
Right.
it was lightened up a little bit with our kids, and that go hold time out, and that goes back to what you're saying, Daryl. With our kids, we have an opportunity to to steer in another direction. It's not gonna make a big difference. It's not gonna change the
It
world.
makes a huge difference.
But guess what? With our grandparents, to our parents, to us, there's been changes made because of thought, because of the way we were brought up, because of the changes and the acceptance that your parents, that we all have accepted to say, you know what, hold on. The world was like this, but this is okay. This
Okay,
is
what
fine.
are we considering a change?
That
Like, what
depends-
is-
change
I'm
right
saying-
now.
I'm- no,
JT,
I'm-
your
I'm
hair
saying-
is
I'm saying-
amazing.
I'm saying,
Hold on.
when y'all saying,
Let me ask you a question real
That
quick.
depends in your
hold on,
household.
let me ask that question. For her to say that her grandson acknowledges his darkness and celebrates it, that's a change.
That's a
because,
change.
because now he's giving it confidence as opposed to what Coach said earlier, where they did just the opposite. That's
That's
a
the
change
change.
there.
Yes.
His mother, who is my daughter, when she was
Yes.
growing up and they called her Charco, I told her to say thank you.
Yeah.
I taught her, you don't argue with that. That's a compliment. So in turn, she imparted in her children moving forward, thank you. Because what is charcoal? It's dark. It's black. Okay, thank you. Like, you think you're insulting me?
okay,
You're
now,
not insulting
okay.
me. So when you start to
'cause we
change
want-
the
Oh,
narrative,
Go ahead.
The
with
mindset.
each generation, that is again acorns creating
Boom.
a forest. So it's incumbent upon us to impart small acorns. Again, every woman in my house has natural kinky hair. No matter how it comes out, that is perfectly acceptable for us in our household. We celebrate it. We don't sit there and go, "Oh, your nappy hair." We go, "Oh, your nappy hair. Oh my God, it's so gorgeous."
Okay, now
That's
do we?
changing.
Okay, but do I'm saying? See me.
Y'all let
Hold
Daryl
on.
talk.
Now see me.
I got
Okay,
I got a caller.
We got a caller. We got a caller.
Coach Steele, you there?
Yeah, Coach Steele is here.
Okay. You got off the line earlier. Your story brought us back on. It brought us back to where we were, where we needed to be. And I know you was talking about, you had some doubts about certain things, certain guys you was dating. Now, let me ask you, with the stuff that was told to you at the earlier age, did it hinder you from going for certain things, certain positions? I know you said it kind of stopped you from going to Cali and pursuing the acting thing. But did it stop you? Did it stop your confidence from doing some other stuff, even though it probably didn't have anything to do with your skin tone, but it still messed with your confidence a little bit?
I think that when I was young, it put me on a path of, I'm going to show all you motherfuckers that I can do what I want to do, how I want to do it, and under my terms. And so it motivated me to take control of my life and my decision making. So the first thing I did at 11 years old, I stopped watching TV, because when I was watching TV, I would see on MTV Raps and MTV Regular, and then eventually BET came on, all the light-skinned girls in the videos, and I did not see me on TV. And so I said, I'm not going to watch no more TV, because fuck them. I'm going to show them. That's what I said to myself. And then and so even today, I haven't gone to a movie cinema in 30 years, because I still don't see enough of dark-skinned black on TV.
Watch Pink Panther.
Watch Black Panther.
We died within the first 5 minutes.
Watch Cum
Say what,
Dumpers.
love?
We died within the first 5 minutes.
Are y'all serious, man?
Yeah.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
I also remember making a conscious effort
It was a joke, Daryl. I was
to
joking.
turn the TV on. Now, it sounds like a contradictory, but remember I said I wanted to take control of my life and my decision making. I made a conscious effort to support the Real Housewives of Atlanta, because that was the first time I saw dark-skinned black females on TV. Okay? Now, that was as close as I could get. The next thing I did was, after I graduated from college, I had one job. And I only worked that job very little, because it was not what I wanted to do. And I started my own business. And I haven't worked for anybody else in over 20 years, because I wanted to control everything about my life and my thought process. The second thing I did, forgive me if I'm talking too much.
No.
The second thing I did was I told myself, you have to be very conscious of the words that you speak, because there is power in your words. Because I realized the power of that they took away from me. So I go out my way to make sure that if I don't see dark-skinned blacks being represented in anything, I ask the question, why are there not any dark-skinned blacks? Not blacks, dark-skinned blacks. I ask questions. Another solution that I felt that I said I was going to do to make my life better, I said that I'm going to learn what my value is as an individual, not as a woman, as an individual. And then whatever that value is, I am going to get that from whomever I deal with. And if I cannot get exactly what I'm bringing kindness, I'm bringing compassion, I'm bringing responsibility, I'm bringing dependability. I ain't said nothing about a big puss. I ain't said nothing about a big ass. I ain't said nothing about good sex. I'm bringing things that's character related. And if I can't get a person with the same character, then I'm not going to deal with them. So that too became part of my taking control of your narrative and taking control of who you invite within your space. So when the gentleman on the end with the hat, he keeps talking about it started back then, and the choices that America has given us, we have to choose amongst those choices. I felt what he was saying, because I agreed with what he was saying. I know that was not the topic of the discussion, but I felt what he was saying, because I don't think consciously my parents knew that they were dismantling my dreams, but they were. So I said one way that I can take myself off that titty and become not a part of what society says is that I can't be on nobody's titty. Not a job, not nothing. I can't be on nobody's titty. So that's another thing we have to do. We got to get off the titty.
I'm saying if we on, like, imagine this. If we really dealt in, I don't even like to say black, but if we dealt in our community, do you really, like, I'm talking about in our community exclusively, not the mindset that was imposed on us. if it was just black people, do you really think a discussion about color would come up? See, me, I just think way outside the box. I understand what they saying totally. Whether they believe I understand what they're saying or not, I do. But I'm just one of those people that don't believe that a fight can be successfully won if you don't understand the weapons of your enemy. It's like if you see somebody that you know wants to hurt you, if you don't know whether they have a gun, a knife, or just prepare to use their hands, if you don't know these things, then you will never beat them. So if we're really gonna talk about a successful change, it's gonna have to be collectively. And if all of us can't say that we share this experience, then it's not going to be collective, because at the end of the day, you're going to look at it from your window, he's going to look at it from his window, I'm going to look at it from my window. My thing is, if we're going to change it, are we going to take any time to understand how, like, at the end of the day, this was done to us with no let up. You think it's some let up. We believe it's some let up. We actually think something has changed. The only thing that has changed is that the plantation is huge now. So we have the illusion of freedom. But like I said, somebody else pick everything that we think we picking. And my thing is about the black and white thing. I just want to get back to, like, what did we think of each other before we got kidnapped? Because all y'all talking about is how we think about each other.
We're not gonna know that.
Huh?
There's no way for us to know
There
that.
is a yes,
We
there
weren't
is.
all
Yes, there is.
kidnapped.
There
We
is
weren't
a-
kidnapped,
Wait,
for real.
wait,
We
wait.
weren't kidnapped.
kidnapped.
You said we weren't kidnapped.
No, we're not
we
getting
wasn't.
there.
We weren't
Stop,
kidnapped.
Stop. We're not going there. We're not going there.
Let the man speak.
You're not taking. Oh, stop! Everybody be quiet. Everybody be quiet. Everybody
the
be
man
quiet.
speak, please.
Stop!
Weren't
Stop!
kidnapped.
Stop! Stop! We are not changing the narrative of this fucking show.
We're not. That's
No!
not
No!
changing the
No!
narrative.
Stop! 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 Stop it!
How is that changing the
Stop!
narrative?
Stop! We're not talking about shit about what we were about being kidnapped.
Well, then we're not talking about a solution then. We're just talking.
Okay, well, stop talking.
All right, I'm done.
All right, we'll do it that way.
Daryl?
All right,
Well-
no, leave it alone, bro.
But I would like to say this, JT, on the subject, because a lot of the conversation has been about dark skin and how, you know, they were treated differently based on the light-skinned person. But as a light-skinned person, we definitely deal with a lot of colorism. In my opinion, as a light-skinned person, I feel like people think I'm the weakest link. Oh, she's light-skinned. She can't, you know, she can't fight. She's a pushover. I've always felt the need to defend myself in every situation. I walked in the room today ready to defend myself as a light-skinned person because I'm far from a pushover.
For real.
I do feel like...
Say that shit
Hold on one
again.
second, February.
I actually wanted to defend you.
Don't hang up, coach.
I actually wanted
So
to
because and it's sad, but I can admit, as a light-skinned person, I say that about light-skinned men. I married somebody dark as this table because I felt like the protection was better. I don't know if that's true, but it's just what I feel.
I would like to stop this narrative because at the end of the day, regardless, we live in America, right? And we can say, well, I wish there was more dark-skinned people that were represented, and we have to move towards that. But it was you that paved the way. And we have to acknowledge, regardless, as a black woman, still, you're a black woman. So with the Dorothy Dandridges of the world that gave platform to the darker skinned women of the world, we have to stop negating whether or not they quote unquote chose light skin over dark skin. Now we have to say we're unified. This sister walked in the door first and she said, listen, let's start darkening this up. We're not giving credence to that because the bottom line, we live in a country that is based on systematic racism. I grew up in Tucson, Arizona, baby one of 5 black people there, and so there was no threat from me. So therefore, because there was no threat from me, I got to be February. I got a certain amount of privilege that allowed me to be this black girl who, let's be very clear, who grew up with a father who was a Nation of Islam minister and a stepfather who was in the new Black Panthers. I ain't nobody's goddamn pushover, okay? But because the way I grew up, where I grew up, I was not considered a threat, which led the way to more sisters that looked like me because I came across like, oh my God, hi! But because of you, let's be clear, we say there's no representation, but because of a sister that was lighter than me, paved the way for someone that was darker. So our whole division is insane that we're like, oh, well, there's only light-skinned sisters on TV. No, but she's paving a way. She's creating a way because she's still a black woman. And we sit here keep negating her presence because she's lighter than us, and we create this divide. We're the ones creating the divide, saying she's not good enough.
And that's why we're here, because we are the ones who are creating the divide. Period. It's no other way. It's us that's doing it. And if we don't change, not the white person, fuck them, they're white. I don't even care about what they think or the way they do things. It's us within ourselves. Just like we look at the black man, somebody said earlier, as the warrior. That's the way I grew up. My own mother told me, Kiki, dark-skinned girls gonna fight hard because you pretty. You my baby, you pretty.
You know there was black
My mom-
scientists
hold
too,
on,
right?
I know.
All dark-skinned people wasn't
Period.
warriors. It was some
That's
dark-skinned scientists and
That's
physicians
the point we're
and
making.
all of that.
Hold on there. That's the point we're making. The same way the dark-skinned male was looked at as a warrior, so was the dark-skinned woman. A light-skinned woman wasn't looked at as a warrior. But I can tell you, my mom came to me. I fought. Listen, let me tell y'all something about this light-skinned right here.
Tell them.
I was suspended every other month. My mama told me, though. She said, Kiki, dark-skinned girls gonna fight you real hard. But you know what? She asked me after so long, why you fight so much? I said, because I'm not the average light-skinned girl. You're not gonna push me over. Period. But as February said, it's a paving way for everybody. So the same way they see the light-skinned girl in the videos and blah, 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 they look at those light-skinned girls in video, but dark-skinned girls are looked at as the tough ones or whatever the case may be. But my point is the change start with us. I'm guilty of colorism.
They looked at y'all
but
like that in the 20s.
I figured out I was going to change.
They looked at y'all like that in the 20s.
I don't know that. I went here in the 20s, 84. It started with me in
Okay,
84.
well, research. Do some research. Do some research then. I'm saying do some research.
We don't need to research. The research is here. What you going to do today, Dan?
They've always accepted light-skinned people. They've always accepted light-skinned people. Like I can't think like y'all think. Y'all thinking of the best way to be accepted.
Well, Darren, what you gonna do today? That's what we talking about. What are you
I already
gonna do?
told you what I'm gonna do.
You gonna tell your
do
children?
it inside my house.
Okay, well,
yes,
that's it.
because there's too many people out there who think like y'all.
Hey, Coach
And the way y'all think ain't did nothing for us in 400 years.
And the way you think probably had neither.
Because don't none of y'all think like me. Don't none of y'all think like me.
But then they changing now. Then they changing now.
Men don't think like men thought
Why
before
you
we got
still thinking
kidnapped.
about then?
We got to.
He the only one that's right.
I'm not trying to be right. I'm gonna speak my mind. I'm gonna speak my mind. I'm not.
Hold on,
you
wait.
can't tell me to digress.
You good.
Can't tell me to digress. If I want to.
Yo.
You can't tell the man to digress if he feel passionate about what he talking
He
about.
said he was going to digress.
I didn't. When I say I was gonna digress.
You did.
When I say I was gonna digress. When I say I was gonna
You
digress.
said you ain't gonna say nothing.
Okay, I said I wasn't gonna say nothing else.
That's digress.
That is digress,
That
y'all.
is what the word digress means.
Wait a minute.
I know what digress means, but I didn't say I was gonna digress. I just said I wasn't gonna say
Hey,
nothing else.
Coach.
If we're not talking about
Hold on.
We talking about it.
Coach Steele, I'm coming back to you finally. Hey, listen.
Yeah. So for solution.
I wanted. Hold on, y'all.
We got to call him.
Coach Steele, I wanted to commend you on.
We don't. You don't tell us all night.
I wanted to commend you on taking what happened to you as a young person and using it as a motivation. And listening, I was gonna ask you if you were actually helping others out, but listening to your story, I can tell that you're actually helping others out that may have had the same issues that you had when you were younger. I can tell that you're doing it, even from what you're doing. If somebody can see what you're doing, you know, they can realize that they can make it too as a darker complexioned black woman or man. So yeah, appreciate you. I was gonna ask you about counseling and all that, but you don't need none of that because you done killed it. So.
Oh, no.
Yeah,
But solution, I think we need to be
appreciate
more apologetic. I think we need to listen with our heart, less with our mind. I think that, like, if anything that I said today touch any one of you, then the next time you hear something similar, then you need to be, hey, my sister, I'm sorry. I'm sorry that you even had to experience that in life. And I'm going to make sure that I don't impose that on anybody else, because I'm going to do my job starting today, that I don't impose colorism on anyone else. Solution.
Yes.
When I see colorism, I'm going to call it out, because when you're amongst your boys, when you're amongst your friends, and they say they only like blah, 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 if it's light versus dark thing, call it out. because that's what they are also teaching their kids. When you are when we are interacting with our spouse, we have to listen with our heart, with our spouse, and say, I never thought about it from a light-skinned person point of view if your spouse is light. Or I have never thought about it from a dark-skinned person's point of view if your spouse is dark. And imagine yourself in their shoes. Most of us can't get outside of ourselves. So if we can allow ourselves to get outside of our own way, to then hear, truly receive the message of the person that you're listening, then when you change, then everything from that point forward will change. Because everyone says when you know better, you do better, but when you believe this shit and you know this shit, you live it and you eat it, the change is there. There's no other way to go but a different way, a better way. Dialogues like this does matter. We just need to spend maybe 30 minutes on the problematic side and then the other 2 and 3 hours on the solution side. And we need to come to the table with what is it that we can do today. When I leave this studio right now today, what is it that I can do to make this young lady, Coach Steele, and any other young lady that look like her not have to go through what she went through and make their plight better? And that's what we all need to say to ourselves right now in this very moment. Am I okay? I'm sure I am. Part of me not okay? I'm sure it's not. I don't know, okay? The only thing that I do know is I'm glad that I was able to at least live the life that I chose to live, period.
Period. Hey, for real.
Good job, Steele. I agree.
I commend you on it. Real quick, because I have another caller, because I want people to see what you're doing as you're doing it. Go ahead and tell people how they can follow you.
Well, first of all, I have a kickball league. Yay. Balls of Steel. Adult women and adult co-ed in Forest Park. And we are starting immediately on mid-April. And I am an accountant. I'm a CPA, and I have my own business of 21 years. And my website is professionaltaxadvisors.net, professionaltaxadvisors.net. And I am waiting to get my approval for my medicinal marijuana license in Georgia.
Yeah. Hey, you know what? It wasn't until then when I started like you then.
But still, let me address him real quick. She's not sorry because she's no longer a coach. She's a league owner.
What that mean?
So she don't have to be sorry.
What that mean?
She owns the league.
What that mean? Hold on.
Hold on.
It's a lot of people that own teams that ain't played shit.
She don't own a team. She owns the league. We pay her. We pay her to be.
You ain't good.
Hey, appreciate that, Coach.
You should probably
what I can tell you, and I like to do TikTok, so let me give you a little back of it.
Coach, you ain't good, Coach.
As a player, I found kickball later in life. Now, when I was growing up, I was the first to be picked, and then later in life, I thought I was the last to be picked. So I changed from the playing side and went to the coaching side. And this is what I can tell you. Hypothetically, if there's 15 leagues in Atlanta, there's 300 teams in Atlanta. Hypothetically, there's 295 of them will be led by men and only about 5 female coaches in all the city of Atlanta. Let me say this to you. A good coach will win about 3 championships in his lifetime. A great coach will win about 7 in their lifetime.
How many you got?
Coach Sid has won 13 because I have kicked all their ass. Believe that. So, baby, when you want to bring that talk this way, I have the street resume to back my shit up, baby. Okay?
You bought 9 of them.
We appreciate you, GOAT.
A couple of those came through COVID.
Hey, appreciate it.
Hey, thank you.
A couple of those came through COVID.
We're going to go over some of these comments. Hey, Coach, appreciate you calling in, man. We got to go over some of these comments, then get this last caller, because I got to go to the bathroom. Real talk.
Okay. All right. Bye-bye.
Marlene said, she pointed out that affirmative action started. When affirmative action started, they did not pick any dark-skinned employees in the beginning. The light-skinned got picked because they wanted the light folks looking like them, close to them. And Nita, our number one fan.
Number one fan of Nita.
Pointed out with the AKAs, remember they were all AKAs were light-skinned, and you had to have good hair. You know what I mean? If you so, and that's a true story. That's
Well, I wouldn't have made the cut because my hair ain't good.
Spike Lee's movie.
But you a light skin.
I mean, it's good.
She
but
said
it
she was
ain't
light
good.
skinned. She said
But
she
you
was light
light-skinned,
skinned
though.
though, but she wasn't. But she had a good
You
hair.
Tisha Campbell
So
light
she didn't
skinned.
get picked, so.
All right, so we got another caller.
Oh, y'all niggas like this
JT,
topic,
what's
don't you?
good with you, bro?
Oh, this is the man DC, bro. Appreciate you calling in, but you know you can get long-winded. I done told you that I gotta go to the bathroom. We gotta shut this thing down.
Nah, there ain't gonna
So
be
go
no
ahead.
You called to represent the dark skin. You called to represent the dark skin folks.
The dark skin people.
The way your ass said, no, you about to be long.
Hey,
You about to be long-winded.
Hey, we've dogged this brother out about his
This
skin
nigga
tone.
said, no, I ain't gonna be offended. Like, nigga, you about
Y'all can do that though.
Start
Y'all
talking
can do that,
now.
man.
Go ahead, bro. What you got?
Let me say this. If everybody was to take and close their eyes right now, we wouldn't know what color we are. Okay, that's the first thing, the voice of reason. And the thing about it is, I've seen, as they say, the old syndrome, like Low touched on about Spike Lee, dark skin going against light skin going against dark skin. And the thing about it is, you know, I'm one shade from purple. Okay, I know it ain't gonna say I'm a dark skinned brother. Okay, and growing up in life, it was always if you was dark skinned, you know, you wasn't the man. You was light skinned in high school. The light skinned guy with the good hair got all the good hair, and then I didn't realize the value of skin color until I joined the military and traveling all over the world to see how when you travel to other countries, we as a whole race, black men are well respected within our culture. I even seen a lot of black sisters traveling over the world, dark skin and light skin is very respected. I truly believe that color is just like anything. It's a state of mind that if we stay on that topic and we believe that topic and we preach that to our kids, then we have not come far at all. We are still back in the 1800s. And I understand what the brother Darrell was saying. Okay?
But you still say that ain't
some
gonna
of the things
change.
he was saying, you know, it was true. Okay, and I understand what JT was trying to say to keep the topic on the same thing. Okay, and it goes back to, if I may, JT, just say the Willie Lynch syndrome, where they preach if you put dark skin versus light skin versus dark skin.
hey, big brother, I don't want to talk about that part. They don't want to talk about that part.
No.
I was about to read that
No,
comment from
I
Nita
promise I'm not
because
going there.
she pointed out the Willie Lynch thing. I was just about to read it, but go ahead. He hit it on before I got to it.
Yeah. I promise you I wasn't going to go into the racism. What I'm trying to say is that they was trying to say if you teach reverse racism amongst us, okay, then we would tear each other down, okay?
That's correct.
Instead of uplift us. And I like what Coach was saying, that, you know, when you pick in certain people to be around, okay, if they have something in common with you or not have something in common with you, how you gravitate towards certain people of color. Okay, one thing I can honestly say is that, you know, when I came to Shockwaves, and my wife would say, tell anybody, when she came in, she was like, ooh, look at all these dark-skinned men. You know, she called her girlfriends like, oh, my God, it's light-skinned brothers out here. And she said, we don't see that in California like you've seen it in Atlanta. You know, and one thing I can honestly say is this. If we was just to take and sit down and learn to listen to each other, we can understand where one person is coming from and another person. You know, I was always told, you ain't have good hair. You know, you was this type of person. You had nappy hair. You had this, you had that. So at the end of the day, you know, I think that if we can all just sit down, we can learn to agree to disagree. But if we all put everything on the table and say, as a dark-skinned person, what did you experience? What did you go through? Okay, and as a light-skinned person, what did you go through? What did you experience? Okay, now how can we put these two together and make it where neither one of us will not experience and we live in harmony? Once we can do that as a race, then we can hold everybody else accountable. Wow. But until we hold ourselves accountable, you know, we just gonna keep on going through the same thing over and over and over. And that's all I got to say, bro.
I agree.
Big facts.
Damn, DC.
Well
I appreciate
said,
it,
DC.
Thanks
you
for the
came
wrap
with it,
up.
man.
Agree.
Appreciate that, man. Listen, we about to wrap this thing up. Appreciate you calling in, my brother. I need to
Good
holler
stuff,
at you
DC.
anyway,
Good
bro.
stuff, DC.
I'll give you a call on my way in. I'll holler at you.
Change definitely
Okay, then,
starts
bro.
with
I
us.
appreciate that, Lo. Y'all have a blessed night.
All right, bro.
Good night.
All right, y'all. So we got to wrap this thing up. Luckily, our other engineer ain't here. back there wrapping his finger around.
That
telling us
nigga,
to
we would have
finish it
finished.
up.
He'd be livid right now.
Yeah, he'd be tripping right now. So again, conversation, you know, to try and some dialogue to hopefully spark something that'll move us forward. We're gonna go around and let everybody tell people where they can follow you at and
Start
everything.
this way.
We're gonna start over here with the
Start
light
this
skin.
way.
Light skin. We starting light skin tonight.
Yeah, we started dark.
Why we gotta do light skin
skin
privilege?
We did dark skin
First
earlier,
of
so we're
all-
gonna start off there.
I'm hugging myself. Doing some real light skin shit.
That sound like some real perverted shit.
I'm Mr. Inappropriate. You can follow me on Instagram, Mr. Inappropriate Official. Please come through on Wednesday nights for Crabs and Comedy variety show. It's hilarious.
Crab legs and comedy.
Crab legs and comedy.
Y'all have chicken wings too, right?
Yeah, we got wings.
Okay, I'm allergic to crab.
And next Tuesday, Inappropriate Nights. Who's your mama? Oh man, we gonna take it. We gonna take it there. You like that promo, don't you? You like that funky mama promo. Once again, I appreciate the fact that we as brothers and sisters can come together, fuss, fight, disagree, agree, and compliment each other because there's a whole 360 degrees that we come from. It is not one-sided. It is not one side of the coin. You can have it all ways. It don't make you wrong. It don't make him right. It means that we all have a mindset. We all have what is it, ingenuity, and we also have a perspective. And every perspective has to be put into the pot for it to be a full meal. So I congratulate all of you. And Daryl, we love you.
Calibo.
My turn? Oh, okay. Shit, you already know what it is, man. It's your boy Calibo. You can follow me on Instagram, CALIBO__. If you ain't using underscore, that means you following somebody else. And if you follow somebody else, I just don't give a fuck. But also, look here, man. Each and every single Tuesday, it goes down at Uptown Comedy Corner because we got the comedy shows. And also, we got Taco Tuesdays next to the Green Light Lounge. Also Wednesdays.
How about the karaoke going on during the
karaoke is like some real shit. So if you
crunk last week,
so if you don't miss out on karaoke, goddamn, you need to pull up because like we got some real amazing shit going on, and it's a dark skinned nigga doing it. So make sure you pull up. All right. Also, hey, look, Wednesdays crab legs and comedy. I'm also on that show too with Mr. Inappropriate and the whole team. Man, pull up. We gonna be there. Actually, you know what? 5 days a week. Actually, 7 days a week. Pull up at Uptown Comedy Corner.
6 days. Give me Monday.
6 days. 6 days.
All right, 6 days a week except for Mondays. Pull up at Uptown Comedy Corner because, you know, you probably see me. I'm sexy as fuck. You definitely want to see me. And you'll see a bunch of these other motherfuckers that you done heard talking.
So we ain't sexy.
Nigga, I'm talking about me. You should have said you was sexy when you had the mic. You don't have the mic now, nigga. I got the mic.
Support black businesses.
Shut the fuck up, light-skinned nigga. All right, but you already know what it is. Like I said, man, hey, show out, support, man. Uptown Comedy Corner, Green Light Lounge. You already know what it is, man. Follow me, man. Let's get it.
And he's a 5-star athlete in basketball and football.
Only
Hey, look,
5.
first
They
of
got
all-
10 stars in the game.
First of all, I don't like the way you keep saying like you don't believe a nigga. All right, I get it. I'm 5'8", 155, but nigga, I will knock your head off. All right, and
JT, I think we need to have a tournament. I think we need to have a game tournament.
We play some basketball. We ain't playing no football.
First of all,
First of all, he young, so he don't really know.
nigga, I'm 40. I'm not young. Okay,
I young.
He's younger.
Younger, right? That's what I'm saying.
I still got an old.
I'm gonna tell you like my grandmama told me, you ain't never gonna be as grown as me.
I got an old man game, nigga. That means back down to shoot, no defense. Whoever got the best shot wins.
Should be a funny game between us then.
Exactly.
Again, I'm February Hassan. That's Februry.
So serious.
Hassan. I'm not a comedian, darling.
She said that with her porno voice. I don't even know why that came out.
And y'all understand it's not
voice is
February.
definitely
It is
sexy.
February.
It is definitely February.
I feel attacked.
You can find me at FebruaryHassan.com. Would you marry you? You can find me on all platforms, YouTube, Facebook, and IG at February Hassan, Februry. I'm the author of Would You Marry You? And also the conversation card, Sex, Shenanigans, and Debauchery, as well as I am an Instagram and IG and Facebook and YouTube influencer. You can find me on all those platforms. Again, FebruaryHassan.com. And I know, oh, so sexy, right?
Hey, real talk. Let me tell you
Yes
something.
to everything the fuck you just said.
But for real, her Facebook page, bruh, the questions that she be asking on Facebook.
I know.
Oh man,
I just like the post.
I'm telling you, it's crazy.
That you gotta read.
It's
this note.
crazy.
You gotta read this note from Nita. That was to you.
So again, I'm a Facebook blogger. Again, I do a workshop called The Art of Allure.
Send your cash app to Low, Anita. I got you.
You can send your cash out to Callie Bo Williams.
She don't do cash out. She
C-A-L-I.
cash only.
Cash only?
She
Okay.
cash only person.
I got you. I promise you. Because that, hey, let me tell you something. That lady, Kaya's more of like our police officer. She police the show. But Anita, man, that's our number one fan right there.
Hey, Anita, fuck that. I take cash out.
Now she celebrated her 63rd birthday. She proud of it.
She should.
I want to celebrate with you.
MJ, go ahead. Talk to him. Let him know. You want to run down that line that you
How
used
y'all
to do?
skip to our way over to the dark skinned person?
That fucked up how they just skipped light skin.
Oh. Tell me some.
You did though. You did go straight to the bald head black nigga.
Go ahead, MJ.
No, I'm good. Thanks for having me. As always.
For sure.
Enjoyed it.
Daryl.
Damn.
It's your boy Daryl Dan, man. Mr. Funny for real, man. And if I ain't funny, you can slap the shit out of me.
Hey, hold on. We were not expecting that shit. we were not expecting that. I was betting a couple fuck yous against my ass.
No, I love us too much.
We love you too, Daryl. Damn.
All right, well, I'm light skinned QT. You can follow me at QT_pop shop guru. I hold pop shops actually at Airport Event Center right here at least twice a month. So look me up. It's an avenue for small businesses to network and build their brand. Once again, that's QT_pop shop guru. And I want to end this with saying change starts with us within our community. Period.
That was about the topic.
Yes, you can't
ain't
forget
slick.
the topic.
That's a light skin humor. I see.
That light skin humor. Hey man, once again, go ahead. You got something else?
Oh, I think I'm cute. Whether I'm light skin or dark skin, that part doesn't matter. I still think I'm cute. Go ahead, Lo.
Hey man, another great classic conversation all the way around, on and off the topic. We hit on a lot of different subjects, man. Good stuff. And all this is about is conversation, is dialogue. We know we're not gonna fix every problem, you know, in 2 hours, which is supposed to be an hour, but in 2 hours, but
Just change that and make it 2 hours.
But yeah, that's what it really comes to.
Can't talk about that loud.
But great conversation, great dialogue. Appreciate the callers calling in, man. Some really, really good stuff. Coach, big shout out to you. Real good information, man. And it just hits home to, you know, some of those internal issues that we still have within our race. You know what I mean? We can claim all the other stuff. We can blame everybody else, but we still can touch each other. And that's what it's all about, touching each other. Hey, and I always tell me to tell y'all, you know, don't forget to vote. Don't forget to register to vote if you haven't registered. We know the big election just went down, but those Senate seats are every 2 years, so don't get comfortable. All right, you got the House for 2 years, but you better keep that vote going.
Facts.
Yes.
All right, y'all. That was it. Another conversation, man. It was crazy, and I promise you, y'all heard us screaming and hollering up here. We're gonna drink, and probably I can't even. Yeah, I can.
Y'all
We're
lucky
gonna
I
drink
ain't smoke.
and smoke a little something afterwards. Because we still down, we still
Right.
black people.
I know your boy.
It is still, it is
I don't smoke
still,
at all.
it is still our community, and that's what we're doing. We're sitting there talking about it. Basically, this show kind of went into what we talked about last week, when basically we were saying that we have to start cleaning up our own backyard. Plus, we need to start cleaning up our own front yard. We're asking for people to respect us. We're asking for people to give us equality, but we're not doing it within our own race, and that's what we was trying to talk about tonight. Hopefully, somebody heard something that's going to help them. Hopefully, somebody heard something that's going to make them change. And, that's going to do it. So next Tuesday, we'll be back again. Shouldn't be any bad weather, so we're going to start at 8:30 and on time.
And still go to 11?
Yeah, that's another classic conversation, and we are out.
Peace.
All right, y'all. Peace.